Kia ora everyone, hello and welcome to the Edgar Centre here in a very chilly Dunedin tonight. Saturday night hoops, Sky Broadband Rapid League coming your way first up. NZNBL a little later tonight. The Nuggets are at home. It is the southern swing for the Steelformers Taranaki Airs. A couple of losses for them down in Otago. Can they turn the tables tonight? Justin Nelson with you. Hope you're well. Hope you're nice and warm. Sitting right alongside me in a very big, looks like a warm coat to me, is Zoe Richards. Great to have you with us on Sky Sports, Zoe, and you do look rugged up. You're a local.
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me.
You knew exactly what to expect tonight. Sky Broadband Rapid League ladder. This is the way it looks at the moment. The reigning champs, the Giants, they look like they're going to go back to back. Nuggets have had a good season, sitting in fifth at the moment, 8 wins and 6 losses as we turn the page and have a look at positions 7 through to 11 in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. And we can see the Airs sitting in 8, 6 and 8. So all eyes on the Nuggets and the Airs for this one. Let's take a look at the starters for the Airs. And there's a little bit of experience here. They did go down to the Sharks a couple of nights ago. I don't know that we expected that, but it is an experienced lineup. Here's the starters about to come out for the Airs. We'll bring them up on screen for you. Exeter, Durand, Bailey, Kelman Poto, and Telfa. So a lot of experience there. Let's have a look at the home team, the Nuggets, and how they'll line up. They have had a good season in this competition. Freeman, Knox, Smiler, Stoddart, and Martin. I think this is going to be a really close contest. Quick look at the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head as we prepare for tip-off. And here's the tail of the tape. Got a couple of blanks in there. Don't worry about that. Look at the form, though. Pretty good for the Airs. That was a loss to the Sharks that we didn't expect. And look out for Stoddart and Bailey, the two big forwards matching up here tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Not too far away from the start. The molten basketball is being delivered. Some early photos, always a special moment for the youngsters. And our Barter card officials, Regan Ashley, Blake Rosanowski and Leo Shaw are set to go. The Airs in the white with the black and yellow. And of course, the Nuggets in their traditional dark navy blue. We are underway, and it will be the Airs with the opening possession. Why don't they get out of this nice and early? Exeter gets a little bump on the way to the basket, and you like to see that aggressiveness nice and early.
Yeah, no, great attack to the rim. Came off the screen really well and was able to get to the rim, so great work by him.
Jack Exeter had a good game against the Sharks in the Rapid League on Thursday night. It wasn't enough to get his team up over the line. Cantabrian, of course, Jack Exeter.
Yeah, he'll want to get that win against the Nuggets, that southern rivalry.
Well, one thing he'll be used to, as he splits the pair there, one thing he'll be used to, Zoe, being a southerner, that his teammates may not be used to, is the weather.
Yeah.
Here's Freeman, Darcy Knox, just getting a gap all the way through and leaving it short.
Yeah, so close. Great check though.
Bailey at the other end off the glass, can't put that away. Max Stoddart, he's been in and out of the team this season. A couple of injury battles. Here's another Cantabrian actually. Freeman launches from deep. Bailey up quickly. Durand looked for the pass early, and in the end, intended for Kelman Poto, chipped in. Freeman, who, it must be said, as he puts 2 off the glass, he's had a good season, the youngster, hasn't he?
Yeah, he sure has. He's really stepped up this season and he's got the green light to shoot the ball, so it's great to see him being aggressive there on offense.
So early stages here in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Tom Kelman Poto feeds it inside for Exeter.
Great defense, well, not great defense, but great read from the defense from Kelman Poto there.
Knox to Freeman. Earlier today in the Salons NBL, big win for the Rams up in Hawke's Bay over the Hawks. Darcy Knox lets fly that one off to the right. Southern swing, of course, for the Airs. went down to the Sharks. Down at the Shark Tank on Thursday night by 9. Carlin Davison, a late injury in that game. Didn't look good. Word is at the moment that he will be playing tonight as Exeter drains the 3.
Great three-pointer. Way to shoot that shot as soon as he got it.
Zoe Richards joining us tonight. Star of TJ Gardner Holmes Tauihi and the 2 Degrees Tall Ferns. We're going to talk about the Tauihi season a little bit later on. A little bit of give and go. Exeter and too much on it. Bailey in the end. Just wasn't able to slow down on his way to the hoop. Early stages. Bears lead by 4 and they get it back. Just a little bit undecided at the moment in offense, the Nuggets.
Looking a little messy there.
Passing red hot for the Airs. Unrewarded off the shot of Scotty Telfer.
Good ball movement though.
Freeman. Bailey met him defensively. Spinning through to the basket and taking contact. Big Max Stoddart.
Great attack on the rim there. Was able to just bump into the defense, but unlucky to finish. So hopefully he'll be able to sink these 3 points right now.
To the Chemist Warehouse strike, Max Stoddart. Tauihi season not too far away. Free agency open during the week. No doubt we'll see an announcement in the not too distant future that Zoe Richards for a 4th straight season will be suiting up for the Southern Hoi Hoi.
Yeah.
I was going to say, don't give us any secrets away, but it's not so much of a secret, is it?
I think everyone pretty much knows that Dunedin's my hometown, and I would love to be back here playing for them. So it'll be no surprise to see me back up there on the court.
Durand inside for Cameron Bottle. Nice little start here for the Airs. Boomer on the way to the hoop, taking contact. Good defense in the end from Bailey. And now up quickly. Exeter, catch and shoot, front of the iron. Stoddart, the big fella on the dribble. One way, then the other. He wants to go coast to coast.
Great finish. Coast to coast. Point guard up the court there. Way to finish on the rim.
Stoddart with the 2. And that's the margin favouring the Airs late in the first quarter here. 4 by 4 minute quarters in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. And what have we got there? A travel against Quentin Bailey. He just lifted the pivot foot. You've seen this competition now over the last couple of years, the Sky Broadband Rapid League, and a lot of our viewers may not realise the men were actually late to the party for this innovation. It all did start in the Tauihi competition, didn't it?
Yes, it did, and it was a great success from the start of it, and it's good to see that, you know, like the development players are getting a great opportunity on the court.
Martin lets fly. Stoddart flying, did well, didn't he? Tried to knock it back. How was the little tap on? Exeter to Quinnell. And he takes body contact. He'll head to the Chemist Warehouse strike for a couple of shots here. So some good play at both ends.
The Airs are just doing a great job of pushing the ball up the court and you know, making the Nuggets players adjust on defense, and sometimes they're not getting back, and so they're getting called for a foul. So it's a good job by the Airs at pushing the ball up the court.
BNZ player timeout alive for both teams, 1 per half. We are only quarter 1, and I know teams like to leave it till late in the second, but with 3.1, maybe the Nuggets will use theirs here. Yes, they will. There you go. So teams are getting better at this. 3.1 is 3.1. Doesn't matter if it's the first quarter or the second quarter. They have a chance to advance the ball here and get the last shot of the quarter. BNZ player timeout, of course. Your chance for the ticket to the big game.
It'll be interesting to see what play they run here. I feel like Martin's been shooting the ball quite well recently, so you'd probably want to get in the ball in the last 3 seconds.
Looking to level it up and maybe even take the lead. Inside, outside ball. I don't think that'll count, or will it? It is going to count. Was that Noah McDowell right on the buzzer?
No, I think it was not.
Martin on the outside. I think the pass came from McDowell, and that will count. So the 3 points are good. right on the buzzer. Not sure how you saw it, Zoe, but gee, it was close.
Martin just had his hands ready there. Great attack by Noah, and was able to find him to shoot around the corner. So corner 45, but great shot by Martin.
Davison just walking past the baseline camera there. He had a big injury late against the Sharks. We're hearing it's a back complaint, a nerve in his back is the issue, but he is walking around. Went through shoot around earlier today as well, so we'll keep an eye on that one. He has been named to start tonight, Carlin Davison. Large buffalo chicken pizza with thanks to Sal's. That's this week's special, available until next Tuesday. QR code, all the details there on screen. Get yourself a large buffalo chicken pizza. This week's Sal's Super Special. Gee, it would warm us up right now. A little bit of Sal's, 1 quarter down here. And it's just a 1-point margin in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Close one tonight. Every point counts, of course. The Airs will be aware of that. And they lead by 1. What did you make of the opening 4 minutes of the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight, Zoe?
I think it was a little bit messy at the start, so it'll be good for them to, especially the Nuggets, to get a bit in sync now with their offense and get the ball moving.
Some big news locally during the week with the announcement of new owners. A local consortium has come together and taken over the ownership of the Night and Day Nuggets and the Hoy Hall, so exciting times.
Very exciting, and it's great to hear that it's a local group of people that are going to be owning it, and so we're Dunedin based, and yeah, we're just awesome to have all the community and everyone involved.
Some misses there early from the Chemist Warehouse. Not what the Nuggets need or want. Bailey hands it off. Exeter getting busy now through traffic. Sends it to the corner. Bailey for 3, well short. He now had a chance underneath. Tahaka has done well there in the end, but the ball didn't hit the rim, and that's why we have a shot clock violation, and the Nuggets will come up with possession.
The Nuggets are very lucky there. Glad it's a shot clock violation for them, but it was a great hustle play by Taranaki.
We're coming back from a little bit of injury at the moment, Zoe. In fact, I think you're bouncing from one injury to the other. So how has the off-season been for you?
Yeah, it's not been what I expected. Unfortunately, I have broken my finger. So at least it's now and not in the T League season.
So you'll be up in time?
Yes, yeah.
Good news for Southern Hoy Hall fans. Tahaka sends it out to the wing here for Telfa. Bailey, Exeter, doesn't need much space to work, and he ran straight in to big Mac Stoddart, who is claiming that the possession should go the way of the Nuggets. He thinks he knocked it back onto the body of Exeter, so the Buttercard officials have a chat here. TJ Gardner-Holmes replay, what's your call here? Off Stoddart, and well, that did hit the back of the neck of Exeter, and doesn't matter. Maybe a little bit of karma there, because Scotty Telfer wasn't in court then. And the Nuggets will come up with possession. Darcy Knox. You see a fair bit of him tonight. No doubt the Nuggets can play a bit of a spoiling role for the rest of the Sal's NBL season. Freeman lands the 3.
Beautiful shot by Freeman. As soon as he's catching that ball, he's just looking to shoot it, and that's great. That's all that the Nuggets need right now.
And they lead by 4. And now back the other way. Not going to come off the hand of Smiler in the end. It has. So the Airs will keep it. Results in the Sal's NBL so far in week 12. Saints took down the Bulls midweek by 16. Sharks over the Airs. What a game that was. The Sharks got home by 9. And their season is well and truly alive at the moment.
it was very unfortunate for the Airs because they were leading most of the game and then just at the end, you know, let it fumble a bit. So I bet they'll be coming out firing tonight.
It was a huge last quarter for the Sharks, wasn't it? Quinnell with 2 there to the Airs. Looking for a response. Martin from the corner can't put that away. And then last night, nice work there from the Airs. Last night, a really big game up in Taranaki between the Fight and the Giants. The Giants need a lot to go right for their playoff hopes. And over there for the Airs, the Fight got up by 18 in the end, and all of a sudden, the season is well and truly alive for the Northern Group Taranaki Fight.
That's awesome to see. You know, they've started off pretty strong as well, and I think the middle of the season they lost a few they shouldn't have, so they'll be really happy with that one.
And they're back on track in a major way right now, the Fight. They're a team to watch with one of Dunedin's very best, Mojave King, in that lineup. Born and bred in Dunedin.
Yeah, no, he'll be enjoying the warm weather up there. I'm not going to lie, I can see why he would have signed up in the north.
A couple of opportunities there for the Airs. They trail by 2 minutes to play in this second quarter. Kelman Poto loses control up quickly. Martin on the run. Does he finish? Gets some contact from Jalen Durand. And he'll have to do the heavy lifting from the Chemist Warehouse strike.
Unfortunately, the ball just popped out there right at the end. But it was a great run and transition.
A little snow around the region down here in the deep south and the Otago and southern regions over the last 24 hours. I drove up from Invercargill to Dunedin today, and there's a fair dusting over the hills, I must say, on the way.
It sure is, and I've seen some videos in Dunedin actually today of snow on the hills and up in people's houses. Unfortunately, where I live, I don't have any snow, but you can definitely feel the coldness down here in Dunedin.
Tahaka. Common Bottle won't be able to keep that in. And turnover there for the Airs late. Nuggets lead by 3. Heading down to half-time in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Hope you're well. Justin Nelson and Zoe Richards with you. Big Sal's NBL game to come a little later tonight. Boomer to Knox, who steps on that pesky sideline. There's at least a couple of those every game, isn't there?
There sure is, and it's like you think you're in the court and just your foot's just stepping out a little bit, so that's such an unfortunate turnover for the Nuggets.
30 seconds to play. Durand pestered by Knox. Knox comes up with it. Freeman, he's got Martin running gunshot, and Martin flushes it down. 2-on-1 numerical advantage for the Nuggets. Exciting stuff. Don't forget the Nuggets do not have their BNZ player timeout to use. The Airs do. Durand fires from deep. That one in and out. Kelman Poto has one wing held by Darcy Knox. He's a big unit, Dom Kelman Poto, and the point guard, Darcy Knox, was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, and I mean, he did a good job on his defense. You know, at least he did give up the shot, so he fouled him before the shot, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Late, few seconds to play. Kelman Poto puts that away off the glass, and that'll do us for the opening half. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Look at this, 2-on-1. Freeman to Martin, and down it goes. It was the most exciting passage of play in that opening half. And the Nuggets lead it 17-14. Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Let's have a quick look at the Chemist Warehouse stats to half-time. Scoring's been a little bit hard to come by. Exeter and Martin with 6 apiece. Just a little bit better spread there for the Nuggets. As we continue to look through the Chemist Warehouse stats, 5 rebounds to Max Stoddard already. That's decent.
Very good by him. You know, every time the shot's going up, he's looking to get inside and get that rebound.
I know that Andrew Mulligan, one of our commentators on Sky Sport, he always talks about the 555 in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He reckons that's the mark of not just a good game, but an excellent game. Stoddart with 5 rebounds in the first half, and the Nuggets lead it by 3. Sky Starter, the fibre starter from Sky Broadband, $50 a month for the first 12 months. skybroadband.co.nz. Get in and check that out. A wonderful offer. Thanks to our naming rights partner, Sky Broadband. As we mentioned, Zoe Richards with us tonight on the call.
Excellent, thank you for having me.
Something different for you to do on a Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm usually out helping during the activation, so it's nice to be back here, back in the seats, and actually getting to watch the game a bit.
We definitely love having our players up in the commentary position every time we get the opportunity, and it also gives us a chance tonight to talk about the GJ Gardner-Holmes Tauihi season. Free agency opened a couple of days ago. The season will start, I think, towards the end of September. Schedule not too far away from being released. And it all points to an exciting season. Season number 4 in the Tauihi. And if it's anything like the depth and the level of talent that we saw in season 3, look out. It was a tough season last year, wasn't it?
It was, extremely. All the teams were pretty even, and it was just the match up on the day to see who could play the best, and that's pretty cool that the league was so competitive, and that any night any team could win.
It's always good to see the tall ferns in action, and of course
we're back in home soil this year, so that was awesome to see, the crowd getting behind them and for them to put on a good show for the New Zealand people.
When they played against Australia?
Yes.
Yeah. Back in May in Hamilton, it was a good game. On the drive, Telfer sends it to the corner. Exeter catch and shoot. Jack Exeter for 3.
Just left wide open there in the corner, and just had his hands ready to catch and shoot that shot.
Open blow for the Airs. Can't give us any more secrets or whispers from the Southern Hoi Hoi, and maybe who is signed?
No, got to keep that quiet. Can't be giving away too much too soon.
I'm sure we're going to see some announcements.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see which team is going to pick, their first signing now that it's open pre-signing period right now.
I'm sure there'll be some news in the next few days. Kelman Poto here, Scotty Telfer. Starting to get busy, Telfer. Tucks it under the arm, sends it back out to Kelman Poto. Shot clock at 8. Look out in the corner, looking for back-to-back Jack Exeter.
Left wide open again. Succeed on that shot. Oh, now it's Darcy's turn.
On the line for Darcy. Knocks up and back stuff to start this third quarter. Kelman Poto just straight down the alley, and he puts that away. Points are going to be good. And he's going to head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for the bonus. He is one man you just do not want to get in front of.
No. He's a strong player, so as soon as he comes down the lane, you've got to be there early and take the charge, or you might want to get out the way.
One of the real nice guys of the competition as well, Dom Kelman Poto. Always stops for a chat. He's been doing his thing in this competition for a fair while now. Ever reliable. He battled some injuries, calf injury it was, for a fair part of the start of the season. Big 3 for Christian Martin there for the Nuggets. He's had a heck of a season as well.
Yeah, it's great for the Nuggets to have him now down south. I'm pretty sure he's studying health science at the moment, so he's got a full-on schedule. But great pickup for the Nuggets.
What did you say he's studying?
Health science.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's head nose into the books, and then trying to juggle doing all the Nuggets stuff. As well as 3x3, he's been doing awesome at that as well.
Yeah, one of the very up-and-coming rising 3x3 players here in New Zealand, Christian Martin. Freeman turns it over there. Nuggets by 1. Minute and a half to play in this third quarter. Kelman Poto wants to be a guard out there at the moment. Has that one slapped away.
Great read by Caleb Smiler, and great attack. Oof.
They're going to keep it here though, the Nuggets. Slipped out of play by Jack Exeter. We're going to see Jack Andrew tonight back down against his former team, the Nuggets. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, he's been having a great season playing for the Ears, so I'm sure he'll be coming up firing for this game.
Dow sends it out to the wing. Freeman now receives from Martin. And he's fouled on the shot there. So Patrick Freeman is going to head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for some extra shopping. He's going to get 3 shots here. And that is always the one foul you just never want to see happen as a coach.
No, you just don't want to, get that 3-point foul. I mean, it's even worse if it's the and one, so at least the 3-pointer didn't go in, but yeah, you just don't want to give them a 3-point shots right there.
Freeman puts that one down. Missed the first, I think. So Sterling Sports, your home of all the team merch. Well, click on that QR code on screen. That'll take you straight through to the online store and snap yourself up some merchandise. I'm not sure what's left this season. It's been very popular. Durand, no gap there. Exeter through hands. Scotty Telfer loves the corner 3. That won't go down. Nuggets up quickly. They're on the move here. Freeman, look out. Having a big game, Christian Martin.
Can't leave him open. He's just going to shoot that shot every time. You've got to find him on transition.
And just like that, on an errant pass and turnover for the Airs, the Nuggets are up by 6, Zoe, so they've really pushed away this quarter.
Yeah, they've really executed a bit better on offense, and unfortunately for the Airs, they haven't. They've done a few silly turnovers and haven't finished an easy shot from the side, so they'll be wanting to change that for this upcoming quarter.
Christian Martin, 3 triples in the game. He moves to 12 points. Game high scorer Jack Exeter has 9 for the Airs. Maybe not done with yet. Caleb Smiler just found a way there, didn't he?
He sure did. He's been really aggressive this season, and it's great to see him stepping up and making the most of those minutes that he's been getting on the court.
Now Nuggets lead by 8. Durand, gee, they needed that. Big 3 from Jalen Durand.
Great shot. I mean, they just needed a score right there, and the 3-pointer is perfect for them.
Brings it back to 5. 10 seconds to play in this third quarter. Reaching in to Haka. Nuggets will bring it to the side. 5.1 to play. Been their quarter. They've made the break. And we have seen their Sky Broadband Rapid League team play some exciting basketball this season, the Nuggets. 8 wins, 6 losses. Smiler, little head fake. Got all the way to the rack. And he knew it too. The opportunity went begging. It was there for the taking. But as it is, the Nuggets have made a move in that third quarter. They lead at 27 to 22. And Christian Martin right in the thick of it.
He sure is. I mean, he's really just come out tonight and just really just shoot the ball. It's great to see that, on transition he's finding his spot, having his hands ready, and the Nuggets are doing a good job of finding him. And I guess the Ears need to lock down on defense on him.
Well, you talked during that quarter about Christian Martin and his studies. It's not all about basketball for him, and it's not all about basketball for you, Zoe Richards, because I believe you've been pretty hard carving out a career.
Yeah, I've gone back to the books. It's kind of weird going back to study after college, but
Is that life for you young people these days? Just keep studying all the time?
Well, I don't really want it to be, but it seems that way. But it's good timely, and it's nice to be back home with the family. And I'm studying my early childhood degree, so it's just a 1-year degree, which is great, and then I can still play basketball.
I know the NZNBL doesn't tip off for another half hour. but we just saw Carlin Davison on the bench there at the Nuggets huddle at three-quarter time, and I've got to, sorry, at the Airs huddle at three-quarter time, I should say. And it certainly did not look to me like Carlin Davison was suiting up to play tonight. So, one to keep an eye on as Telfer gets the opening basket of the last quarter. I'm not sure we're going to see Carlin Davison. Maybe we will. Maybe he's headed to the rooms and he's going to quickly get ready, but...
No, he just doesn't seem like he's getting game ready, so... Unless he really surprises us, it doesn't look like that way at all.
Let's see if we can get a shot of Davison on the bench, on the Airs bench at the moment. He's got the hoodie on. He's incognito right now. He's certainly not letting it be known to too many people. But he doesn't look like he's preparing for this game tonight. Jalen Duran with the two. And just like that, back-to-back baskets for the Airs. And they are back into it. Down by one. Good start to this last quarter. And they're going to get it back. Just the start they wanted.
Yeah, no, they're doing a great job of executing out on offense. They've had some good shots taken by Gerard. So, great job by the Airs.
So all of a sudden, they're right back into it. And a chance to take the lead here. Quinnell, Exeter. One side to the other, Johaka. And Telfer takes the bump. So they've come out firing in this last quarter. The Taranaki Airs. 2:26 to play. And a chance for Scotty Telfer to take them into the lead.
I mean, look at those shoes. Surely he can make these shots with those pretty, they look like pink, I think, shoes. Oh, there we go. Great shot by Scott Telfer.
Oh, there is Carlin Davison. So this is what I was talking about. What are we? We're half an hour away from tip-off in the Salons NBL. He has been named as a starter tonight, questionable, but what we just saw there, that is not a player that is going to step out and play tonight, is it?
No, he just looks too comfortable sitting there on the bench, so doesn't look like he's going to be out there.
Even the rest of his teammates who are playing later tonight are warming up right now and stretching. I reckon we can confirm that Carlin Davison is out for the Airs tonight. Highly unlikely to play. Martin for three. Geez, had a good evening so far, hasn't he?
He is doing so good. I mean, I just love how he just comes off that, ready to shoot the shot. Hands ready. Just love seeing that shot just go straight in so beautifully.
And Telfer answers back the other way. Airs retake the lead by one. Raining threes at the moment. Look out. Here he is again. Christian Martin, that wasn't too far away. 4 triples for him tonight. He has 15. There's quick in transition. Now they settle. Telfer. And I reckon in the end, that's either come off Freeman or Stoddart. It will be an Airs ball. 1:15 to play. Airs by one. Overtime rules in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. If the score is tied, it's a 1 minute overtime and the ball goes back to the middle for a jump ball. I actually love the fact that it's a jump ball to restart. I think that's kind of cool.
It's anyone's game, you know, so it's kind of good that, you know, depends who's ready to get the hops up and tip the ball to the teammate to go either way. Oh, he loves that corner shot.
Patrick Freeman for three. And now the Nuggets by two. We have seen Freeman land some big triples this season in both this competition and the Sal's NBL.
Sure has, and he always finds himself in the corner there. It's really good catch and shoot.
Exeter can't put that away. All Nuggets players on the rebound. Still plenty of time left in this one for the Airs. Got to get a stop here. Smiler. Parker reaching in. In fact, Exeter it is reaching in for the foul. And is that going to be bonus shots?
Looks like just from the sideline.
So that might have been the last foul to give this quarter for the Airs. Once you get into a couple, you're in the bonus. 4 by 4 minute quarters, of course. Stoddart down low.
There's this matchup that we wanted to see. Puts it back out.
Smiler into the corner. Freeman, crafty, has already landed a big one. Can't put that away. Stoddart tried to keep it going for the Nuggets. And now a chance for the Airs. Oh no! Getting it at mid-court. Caleb Smiler, I'm not sure, he's just using time.
Yeah, I think it was trying to use a lock-up.
That's actually pretty clever in the end by Caleb Smiler. I mean, time is everything. And he literally looked around then and burnt a couple of seconds. Have a look at this. GJ Gardner home for he's looking at the clock. That's exactly what he's doing there. That is very, very clever.
Very smart play by Caleb, yeah.
And burning those couple of seconds have left the Airs with 4.5. They take their BNZ player timeout. QR code on screen there. Ticket to the big game. You know what to do. Scan away and come and join us at the Sal's NBL with thanks to BNZ. But they're down by 4 with 4.5. And they turn it over. That's going to do it. Nuggets are going to win this game. Shot won't get there in time. But a good win, a good second half here tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League.
Very competitive game. I mean, it could have gone either way, and the Nuggets executed down on the stretch there.
So the Nuggets get it by 4. They would have liked to have got it by 9. That's not the score, 99-90. We don't see scores that high in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, but they did get home by 35-31. Let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats. Christian Martin, what a game.
He played outstanding. You know, he just came out ready to shoot the ball. Great shooting performance by Christian there.
6 threes between Martin and Freeman, and that really was the difference in the game. Jack Exeter had 9 for the Airs. So all eyes now on the Sal's NBL tonight. As we continue to look through the Chemist Warehouse stats, Stoddart had 6 rebounds, had 5 of those in the first half. Cornell with 5 for the Airs. As we continue to click through, Smiler with 3 assists, led the way. Just a block apiece, Stoddart and Bailey, they were the 2 that we were focused on at the start of the game. And Smiler with 4 steals as well, so really active, wasn't he?
Very active on defense. You know, he got up in the grill and just saw that right at the end there, and he forced a turnover, which pretty much sealed the game right there.
So Nuggets win the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight, 35-31. As we look forward to 7:30 New Zealand time, when we hope to have your company back with us for the night and day Otago Nuggets and the Steel Formers Taranaki Airs. The Airs on the southern swing. You need a win tonight. Let's see what happens. We'll see you back here at the Edgar Centre here in Dunedin from 7:30.
Ups and downs, everything that happens
in an indifferent Well, Jono, the Nuggets find themselves in an indifferent Well, Jono, the Nuggets find themselves Well, Jono, the Nuggets find themselves in an indifferent position.
When you get to this kind of the point of the season, you know, I think, like everyone says, right? Like coach always talks about us playing 35 minutes. I think that last 5 minutes for us is in a lot of the games that we played. So, you know, I'm really excited to get out here after a really good week of practice and kind of compete. So,
best of luck out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Broke that. Bards, take us back to the start of the season when that news first broke during the week. A local consortium have come together
to be on the floor in front of this awesome Otago community. Important for, yeah, very important, like to have that connection, have that community feel. I've said that word a few times with all the locals here. I think that's very important. Yeah.
It's good. I love being down here, home, family's here.
Well, Jack, familiar. Well, Jack. Well, Jack. Well, Jack, familiar territory for you. What's it like to be home? Well, Jack, familiar territory for you. What's it like to be home?
Things around and just get back on the right track and hit the feet, hit the court running by postseason. Yeah.
Best of luck out there.
Thank you. Awesome.
Well, Jack, familiar territory for you. What's it like to be home?
It's good. I love being down here, home, family's here. Yeah, I can't complain really. Yeah.
And what about the season that you've had? I mean, you made the big move. You got out. Kia ora everyone, mai hara mai, hello and welcome to the Edgar Centre here in a very chilly Dunedin tonight. Saturday night hoops in the NZNBL. Great to have you with us. The night and day Otago Nuggets looking to play spoilers tonight against the still formers Taranaki Airs. Hope you're well. Justin Nelson with you, trying to stay warm. And sitting right beside me, great to have Zoe with us. Zoe Richards, of course, Tauihi's superstar for the Southern Hoi Hoi, and a tall fern as well. And you can tell she's a local because you're rugged up and I'm not. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Yes, I know what to wear and what to bring when I'm coming to the Edgar Centre because it's usually pretty cold.
Picksandpick.com poll. Just 13% going with the Nuggets tonight. 87% right now with the Airs. Cast your vote. Who do you think is going to win tonight's game? With thanks to mixandpick.com. Interesting times in the NZNBL. Zoe, interesting times tonight. There is Carlin Davison, who is warming up, but I've got to say, he does not look 100%. Of course, he went down late with an injury against the Sharks on Thursday night. We're told that it's nerve damage in his back. So I think he's got some heat packs on. He hasn't stripped down. We've seen him in the tracksuit right throughout the earlier Sky Broadband Rapid League game. In fact, he didn't warm up with the team when they were going through their warm-ups earlier, but he is on the court right now, and that is a must-watch to see whether he steps out and plays tonight. Let's have a look at the ladder in the NZNBL. It is super close. Other than the Rams have skipped away, of course, reigning two-time champs, but really, you look from the Jets in third at 8-5, and it is a bottleneck. The Airs went down to the Sharks a couple of nights ago. The Sharks into the top six. The Bulls have slumped. They've lost their last six. They've gone from third on the ladder to ninth. The Hawks losing earlier today to the Rams. The Tuatara and the Phi have a massive game coming up tomorrow. Really, the Nuggets, you look at them in 11th. They won't make the finals, but they can be a spoiler.
Yeah, and you know, it's great having this game being played, you know, with the recent announcement about having local buyers come in for the Nuggets in the Southern Hoi Hoi. And so I think this game will be really important, you know, just even for the community and the crowd to get firing for next season as well. We're looking forward to that.
Let's have a look at the games coming up. Giants and the Jets tomorrow. That's a big one. The Jets want to stay on their winning ways. The Giants mathematically still a chance. Tuatara and the Phi. That is a huge game. We're back at it on Wednesday night. The Phi on the road to the Rams, and then the Jets and the Tuatara on Thursday. I mean, you just look at those games alone. Every game is important. It just anything can happen from here. How exciting is that? All right, Airs starters tonight. Now, this is the big story unfolding before our eyes because Carlin Davison has been named to start. I reckon he is going to be a game time decision here. In fact, if I look out across the court right now, Carlin Davison is he out there stripped down?
No,
he's not.
Just looks like he's doing some activations in the corner.
Yep, he's off the back stretching, so we'll keep an eye on that. Davison, Dutt, Mola, Andrew, Jack Andrew back in familiar territory, and Armon Fletcher are your starters at the moment for the Airs. As I said, Jack Andrew, he knows this place very, very well, and I caught up with him before the game. Here he is. Well, Jack, familiar territory for you. What's it like to be home?
It's good. I love being down here, home, family's here. Yeah, I can't complain really. Yeah.
And what about the season that you've had? I mean, you made the big move. You got out of that hometown feel and you went somewhere new. How's it been at the Airs?
I've really enjoyed it. Great group of guys and stuff. And in terms of the season, I feel like I'm improving every game and stuff. A lot of credit to the guys for that as well. So, yeah, another thing I can't complain about. Yeah, happy.
And it's so close right now. Every game matters. Tonight, what do you got to do well?
Got to pick up on the defensive end after 2 losses. We're really looking to turn things around and just get back on the right track and hit the feet, hit the court running by postseason. Yeah.
Best of luck out there.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks.
Former Nugget, he looks pretty pleased to be here. He's having a wonderful season, Jack Andrew. 16 points and 10 rebounds a game. And sometimes you've just got to get away from familiar territory and grow as a person, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. And I guess, you know, he's come into his own since being with the Airs, and so it's probably given him a lot of confidence. So it'd be great to see him back out here on the home court, and I'm sure some of the Nugget fans will still be cheering for him.
Let's have a look at the Nuggets and the way that they will line up tonight. Darcy Knox playing his 100th game. He will be coming off the bench. Bardsley, Jansen, Carey Jr., Aitchison and Seabury are your starters. Jono Jansen's had a wonderful season for the Nuggets. He has fitted in perfectly. And we're going to hear from him now. Here's Jono Jansen. Well, Jono, the Nuggets find themselves in an indifferent position. Finals picture is out of the question right now, but you can play the spoiler, and one of the teams you can spoil are the Airs.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, when you get to this kind of the point of the season, lots of ups and downs, everything that happens, you just kind of got to try to take any positive you can now. And for us, it's about building the culture, you know, for next season, but also just we're getting better every single game, and I feel like we can continue to improve. And I think, you know, a team like Taranaki has to, we play them twice still, so I think they're definitely coming to this game a little nervous, and I think we'll be ready to go as well. We've been competing really, really well these last few weeks, and I think it's just going to continue to get better.
And even though the wins haven't been there, looking at the team and the games, it looks like this team has really gelled together, and you get along and you love playing basketball together.
100%. I mean, the culture here is great. Like, it's such a close-knit community and a team, and I think that that's exactly it. Once we band together, I think we are going to be able to get some wins. And yeah, like I said, the team's awesome. So no, I've been really enjoying my season here, and I'm really excited to finish it up as well.
What's the big thing you got to get right tonight?
You know, I think, like everyone says, right, like coach always talks about us playing 35 minutes. I think that last 5 minutes for us is a big one, right? We got to play 40 minutes of really tough defense and then trust our offense. And you know, we've shown really big improvements over the last few weeks, leading in a lot of the games that we've played. So you know, I'm really excited to get out here after a really good week of practice and kind of compete. So
best of luck out there.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
There's Jono Jansen. Let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head for this big match-up tonight. Saturday night hoops in the Sal's NBL. And the form not good for the Nuggets. The Airs have lost their last couple. Jono Jansen and Jack Andrew, they're the two players that we had a chat to through the pre-game, I should say, Zoe. And that really is the key to the match-up tonight, because the Nuggets are the lowest interior, the worst interior team in the competition. The Airs are the best when it comes to rebounds, offensive rebounds, points in the paint, second chance points. The Airs are number 1, the Nuggets are number 11.
Yeah, and you know, that has been pretty evident. They have been struggling inside this season, so that should be a huge key for them to be focusing in on defense, you know. So let's hope that they bring that energy down in the right down in the, I guess, keyhole area.
Well, as the two teams prepare to come out, all eyes at the moment are on the Airs to see whether Carlin Davison has made it through warm-ups and will play tonight. There's the Nuggets. They're about to step out. Coach, of course, Mike Kelly, mixandpick.com poll, heavily in favour of the Airs. And we can tell you, off-screen, Carlin Davison has stepped onto the court. So that's been the big talking point through the pre-game. And Carlin Davison is going to give it a go here tonight. Came down heavily late in the game against the Sharks on Thursday night. And he's going to give it a go. There he is. That is huge news for the Airs.
It sure is, and he really kept everyone waiting right to the last second.
I reckon Josh Aitchison there's just saying to him, are you sure you're okay to play? Are you right? The mind games have already started. Photos all around. One young Nuggets fan there, but Josh Aitchison gets out of the way. That's for the centres, of course, Jack Andrew and Jono Jansen. And as we get set to go tonight, as you know, it's a travelling circus in the Sal's NBL. I'm down here in chilly Dunedin, and my wife Sandra, who you know well, is celebrating her birthday today. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, absolutely. We are underway, and it'll be the Nuggets with the opening possession here tonight. They really can play the spoiler from here on in. There's a foul off the ball here. That's going to be an early call on Armon Fletcher, who was tangling up with, might have been Matthew Bardsley getting in amongst it. Bardsley is a player who doesn't mind getting under the skin a little bit.
No, and he's very aggressive on defense and brings a lot of energy on the court.
Opening chance there for the Nuggets tonight. And Carey Jr., going to see a lot of him. There's Deng Dut. New inclusion. Speaking of new inclusions for the Airs, so too Craig Mola. He has a go at it, gets it back, and he'll send it out to Davison. Our first sign of him tonight, and it's a good sign.
Great shot from Davison there. Just had his hands ready and let it fly.
Oh, he's carrying that injury, no doubt. I don't think he's 100%. Bardsley has drawn contact on the way to the hoop. And I just wonder whether that's Armon Fletcher again. I reckon it is. So
that's two on him.
That's going to be 2 early fouls on Armon Fletcher. We are 50 seconds into the game, and Sam McKinnon is going to have to make a change here. Bardsley deep on the first one. Stick with us tonight at halftime. We're going to have a chat with Matthew Bardsley about the new ownership of the Nuggets and the Hoi Haw, which was announced a couple of days ago. Davison gets up big on the rebound. He's looking all right at the moment, Zoe.
He sure is. I mean, he's looking pretty comfortable. It'll be interesting to see once he gets a bit more contact to see if he's favouring anything.
Or maybe back-to-back threes. That one off to the left. I made a comment earlier today about Carlin Davison. Given what we saw and his injury, as Don Carey Jr. drains the three. That injury late against the Sharks for Carlin Davison, which looked really bad. The fact that he's out there tonight is quite surprising. But I made the comment earlier today that he's going from being the magic man to the miracle man.
And he's just such a key player for the Taranaki Airs, and they need him out there. So it's good to see that he's out there at the moment.
Foul on Jono Jansen. Reaching in on Deng Dut. Jack Exeter comes in for Armon Fletcher now. 2 early fouls for him. And that's a big blow for the Airs. Important player, 17 points a game, Armon Fletcher, already sitting with 2. We're not going to see him, you would think, until the second quarter at the earliest. Deng Dut reaching in, knocked away by Carey Jr. Bardsley comes up with it, back to Carey Jr. He's had a big season. Seabury in the corner for 3. And the Nuggets are going to get it back. Pretty good start here from the Nuggets.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of just pushing the ball up the court and finding some open shots there.
Seabury to bring it in. In fact, I should say Carey Jr., who steps in off the baseline, has 1 crack at it and a second.
There you go. He looks like he's just trying to pad his stat there, trying to get his own rebounds and getting his rebounds up.
Davison back the other way, can't get the roll. Nuggets by 2, and they are up and about right now. Good start. Aitchison, indecision. Lucky for him, Carey Jr. was there to clean it up. Bardsley now aggressively on the drive, takes heavy contact from Jack Exeter, who isn't mucking around, it must be said.
Sure isn't. I mean, it's great to see that the Nuggets are pushing the ball up the court, and there's just a lot more fast-paced play by them. It's creating a bit more opportunity for them on offense.
Bardsley, of course, has been a part of the furniture here since that 2020 showdown. He's a fan favourite. Aitchison, another local who recently played his 100th game, misses that. And now a chance for the Airs. Scoring has been tough. In the opening 3 minutes here tonight, Craig Mola for 3. 208cm, 30-year-old forward, the Aussie Craig Mola.
I mean, his defense, Josh Aitchison's hands were down, and so, you know, take that shot. Great shot by him.
Jansen's had a wonderful season with this Nuggets team.
Great to see him get a bit more back to the basket scores in the last few games. He's doing a great job of capitalising on that ball movement inside.
I'm pretty sure he spent a lot of time in recent years on the Gold Coast in Australia, and gee, outside today here in Dunedin, I've got to say the Gold Coast is a long, long way away.
It sure is, but he's also played in Luxembourg actually. He played a few seasons over there, and chatting to him, he said that actually Dunedin isn't that cold. But it'll be interesting to see if he would still answer that the same today.
Yeah, he's kidding himself. Davison. Well, he wanted to spin to the basket. Now he gets on the drive from the other wing through hands. It ends up with Dutt, steps around Seabury. The little runner doesn't go down. Mola there to finish it all off, and he's fouled. So Craig Mola making his presence felt early here tonight. Good signs for the Airs. All of a sudden they start to find their flow.
He's just doing a great job of cleaning up on the glass. Every time the shot's going up, he's, getting under the rim and finding that ball coming off the shot. So he keeps crashing and, creating multiple opportunities for the Airs.
Already has 3 offensive rebounds, Mola, and he drains that. So he's up to 6 points early from Taranaki's 9. And the Airs now lead by 2. Early stages, Sal's NBL, a Saturday night special from Dunedin for you. Earlier today, the Rams took down the Hawks. Kerry Jr. can't put that away. Dutt up with it. Kelman Poto into the action. Back to Deng Dutt. DKP gives it up to Mola. Really active. Hard on Jansen. Not sure what that was in the end.
So it's quite interesting.
Now he sends it in for Kelman Poto, and I reckon that's come off DKP's hands last. This will be overturned here by the Barter Card officials, and it is. I mean, the first one back down the court in defence is Dom Kelman Poto. That's a pretty good sign that he knew that it came off his hand.
Yeah, no, he knew. He's getting himself ready on defence.
So now a chance for the Nuggets. Seabury looking for some cover up high, takes it down low on Exeter. On the turnaround, gets the drop. The points are good for the Nuggets. And Jack Exeter has a couple of fouls early in this game as well. Tied up at 9 apiece. GJ Gardner-Holmes, replay. Jalen Seabury just knew exactly what he wanted to do here.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job of reading where his defender was, just hiding right there on the shoulder, and he was able to push off and turn around and find that jump shot.
So Armon Fletcher has 2, Jack Exeter has 2, Jalen Durand into the game now. So Sam McKinnon having to swing the changes early here. And he missed from the line. Durand. Mola to Dutt. The Aussie connection of the Airs for the rest of this season. Mola started nicely tonight, leaves that one short. Getting a lot of looks though, isn't he, Craig Mola?
Sure is. I mean, they want that from him. They want that offensive aggressiveness from him. So, I mean, any shot that is wide open, he just needs to take it for the Airs, showing that good leadership.
Well, we love a storyline in the Sal's NBL, and there's one tonight on the sidelines with Mike Kelly, coach of the Nuggets, and Sam McKinnon, coach of the Airs, of course, former coach and assistant coach at the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in the Aussie NBL, so they know each other really well. Former stars themselves in the Aussie NBL back in the day.
I'm sure that they still have that kind of rivalry as players, so now that they're coaches, I bet they want to one-up each other and get the win against each other.
Oh, no doubt about that. They might be mates off the court, but not tonight, not right now. Dom Kelman Poto just doing what he's been doing for years and years and years.
I mean, he recognised the mismatch inside there, and he can use his strength to be aggressive to the hoop.
He had a huge quarter in the third quarter against the Sharks on Thursday night. Dutt dumping it back there for Jack Andrew. Opportunity missed. Look at Donald Carey Jr. get after it. And in the end, he wanted the hand, the running partner of Seabury, gave it straight to Jack Andrew.
Yeah, should have just taken it himself.
Durand. Mola, another offensive rebound. He is dominating the offensive glass. And that's a possession error for Dom Kelman Poto. Carried the ball.
Yeah, he just tried to split the defense there, did a bit too much with his ball handling. But I can see what he was trying to do there. He was trying to get attack the rim quite aggressively there.
Craig Moller already has 7 rebounds in the game. 4 of those offensive. So he's had a huge start. Colin Davison sitting at the moment. Seabury a deep 2.
Tough shot to make there with the hand up in your face.
Doot got some space here, launches for 3, can't put that away. And Seabury getting a lot of the ball at the moment, starting to warm into this game, averages 16 points and 6 rebounds a contest. Jono Jansen, he's so hard to stop, Zoe, when he gets deep inside the paint.
He sure is. I mean, I just love how aggressive he is there. Fake one way, go the other, finish with his left hand.
So 11 apiece. And that's going to be an Ayres ball on the baseline. Smiler helped back to his feet. Called for the block.
Jack has been a bit quiet this game so far, so you know, it was good that he was just aggressive there. Drawed the foul, so hopefully you'll get some more opportunities on offense, get more aggressive inside.
Davison back onto the court here, so that's a good sign for the Ayres. Good. There's young Freeman guarding him. Here's Davison, sends it down to Kelman Poto. Oh, he wanted it into the hands of Jack Andrew. And in the end, the defense of the Nuggets standing tall. Can they do something offensively here? Jansen showing his guarding skills, or his guard skills, I should say, and took a lot of contact there, didn't he, from Jalen Duran. I reckon Mike Kelly might be asking a couple of questions there.
Yeah, he has a few words there to say to the ref. Regan over there. I mean, there was a bit of contact on that play just before, so unfortunately they didn't call it.
Oh, to be fair, I don't think Jono Jansen, who's a much bigger unit than Jalen Duran, I don't think he fell over under his own steam.
Yeah.
Do it. Here is Duran. Of course, was part of that sign and trade with the Saints and Jordan Nartai. There he is, Big Jack inside.
Great recognition of getting that ball inside on the mismatch. You know, great job by Jack Andrews capitalising on that.
It's a really cold evening. Jansen tangled up, no whistle, but this is a low-scoring contest right now. Players taking some time to warm up. Hope you're enjoying it. ESPN in the United States. Hello to everyone over there. Oh, Jalen Duran with the big 3. And we'll get a timeout here. Mike Kelly and the Nuggets want to chat. The Ayres lead by 5. Very good evening to everyone, or maybe morning, afternoon to everyone around the world on FIBA YouTube, and of course right here in New Zealand, up and down a chilly Aotearoa. Hello to everyone on Sky Sport. This will warm you up, the large buffalo chicken pizza. That's this week's special with thanks to Sal's. That's applicable to everybody in New Zealand, of course. If you are watching on FIBA YouTube in, I don't know, Mozambique or in the United States, you're not going to be able to get that special.
No, unfortunately, but
that's
Kiwis.
That's a long way for home delivery.
Yeah, Uber Eats over to America. Really gosh. That's making me hungry just looking at that yummy pizza.
So a good start here for the Ayres tonight. There's a bit of excitement in the crowd with a shooting contest going on the court. There's never a dull moment at the basketball, is there?
Sure isn't. I think she just won $150.
How much?
150, I think. She hit the 3-pointer. So good on her. I think that's Swiss Sports shoes she's won there.
Nice. As I mentioned earlier, one game earlier today in the Sal's NBL, the Rams getting home over the Hawks. And a couple of interesting games coming your way tomorrow. Giants at home to the Jets. And a huge game in Auckland. Tuatara and the Five. They are firmly locked in a battle for the playoffs right now. In fact, there's still 10 of the 11 teams that can make the playoffs. It's quite remarkable.
It looks like the Airs have just gone into some zone defence, but Nuggets are able to respond to that.
Well, Jono Jansen breaks that open. He hasn't missed yet. He's got 6 points in the game. Leading scorer for the Nuggets right now, Jono Jansen. Craig Moller with 6 for the Airs. Durand can't get past the hand of Caleb Smiler.
Yeah, I mean, this year his defence is really stepped up, and it's just great to see how aggressive he is and forcing turnovers as well.
He had 4 steals in the earlier Sky Broadband Rapid League game, Caleb Smiler. Nuggets getting the win there. Oh, Freeman underneath on that baseline drive did well. Jansen got it to go again for the Nuggets. Here's Don Carey Jr. He wants everyone to get out of his way, including Dom Kelman-Potor. And that's no easy task to put DKP on his backside.
I mean, he was really just trying to get in there, force the foul, and sure did right down the end there.
So Carey Jr. off to the Chemist Warehouse. Don't forget, every made shot this season from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Money being donated by our friends at Chemist Warehouse to Basketball New Zealand Schools in Parks and Schools in Hoops. Wonderful program. And well done to Chemist Warehouse for getting behind that one. And
great initiative, you know, just having more hoops put in around schools, you know, starting that development for the younger generation, and then hopefully one day we'll see them out here on the court.
No doubt about that. A lot of young talent here in New Zealand. Speaking of young talent, 21 years of age, Carlin Davison. He's one of the very best, battling injury tonight, but still working hard. One way, then the other, and got the shot off. He's heading into another season with the New Zealand Breakers, the BNZ Breakers in the Australian NBL. And Carey Jr. stepping around Durand, just clever in the end. And that'll do us. So a quarter down, we are all tied up at 16 apiece. Low scoring tonight in Dunedin. It's chilly, but we're starting to warm up. Welcome back to Dunedin. Great to have you with us. All tied up at quarter time in the Sal's NBL tonight. Night and day Otago Nuggets, still formers Taranaki Airs. Locked up at 16 apiece. The Airs on the southern swing went down to the Sharks by 9 on Thursday night. Can they escape a snow-covered deep south with the split? Or will the Nuggets come to spoil the party tonight. Second quarter underway, 16 apiece. Justin Nelson, Zoe Richards with you. Zoe, what did you make of the opening 10 minutes tonight?
It was a bit of a slow start, and the Airs really, I guess, did well on offense rebounding, but towards the end there, the Nuggets really stepped it up. So it should be interesting to see who brings the energy this quarter.
Davison with the opening points of the second quarter. He was questionable coming into this one. He looked about 40% fit through warm-ups, but he is out there playing and making a contest of it. I think he'll get called for a foul here on that drive by Jono Jansen. And Jansen heads to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Had a good opening quarter, Jansen. Leading the way for the Nuggets. 6 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of offensive rebounds for him as well. You talked about the Airs on the offensive glass. 15 rebounds so far for the Airs, 6 of those at the offensive end. Craig Moeller has 4.
Yeah, he's just been cleaning it up on the glass. Anytime a shot goes up, you'll find him just going straight after that.
Jansen splits the pair at the stripe. Davison. We've got some tall timber out there. Moeller, Kelman Potol, Davison and Andrew. Deng Dut is playing as the point guard right now. I mean, that is a seriously big unit for the Airs on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, the Nuggets are trying to do the best job inside, you know, getting that double team down early, but, you know, when that happens, then it's creating opportunities for Davison to then attack on the defense when he doesn't really have a player guarding him as such.
And such is the size of the Airs this season. They rank number 1 in the league for rebounds, number 1 for offensive rebounds, number 1 for points in the paint, and number 2 for second chance points. And if you line that up against the Nuggets rank last for rebounds, they're 10th for points in the paint, 10th for second chance points. And it is a glaring difference in this game. If the Airs dominate the paint, they're going to get the win. And that's something that the Nuggets need to be aware of. Great decision there from Caleb Smiler.
Yeah, you see he wanted to pass it to DC, but his defender was in the way, so unfortunately that created the turnover.
Airs by 3. We mentioned earlier some great news down here in Dunedin during the week for the Otago Nuggets and the Southern Hoi Hawk. That's not going to count too long in the key for Jack Andrew. Don't often see that called by the Barter Card officials. Some great news during the week with a local consortium confirmed as the new owners, the new incoming owners of the Nuggets and the Hoi Hawk. So not only great news and a prosperous future, but locally owned.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to hear. I'm sure everyone is very excited, as much as I am, just to hear that it's staying back in Dunedin and that it's locally owned. You know, it's great to see that the local community is wanting to support the professional basketball here community and realise how big of an opportunity it is.
Davison with the block. DKP to Jack Andrew. Big play there for the Nuggets. That's going to be a delay of game on Carlin Davison. But end-to-end stuff by the Airs. And they are excitingly good when they're doing this. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Well, there's the turnaround for Seabury. That was probably the best patch of basketball so far tonight for the Airs, and they lead by 5. Dangerous times right here for the Nuggets, scoring hard to come by. Kerry Jr. on Deng Dut, the 2 number 11s, and did really well there. Kerry Jr. got Dut off the floor. Don't forget, we haven't seen Armon Fletcher since the opening minute of the game with 2 fouls. In fact, as I say that,
here he comes.
Here he comes.
It's going to be interesting to see the different dynamic of putting him back on the court, Fletcher back on the court, to see how the Nuggets adjust to having some more seismic out there.
An incredibly big team, as we just spoke about with the Airs. They did have a cracking point guard, Owen Foxwell, who departed last week on an international trip with an Australian representative team, but we believe also is looking to land an opportunity in the NBA Summer League. So we wish Owen well, and the Airs, rightfully so, as they did with Sam Froling last year. When those opportunities come up, you support your players. So wonderful to see the Airs give that support.
And that'll be a huge miss by them, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but he is the leading assist for the whole league. So, right, the whole league. So it'll be, the Airs will have to find someone else to kind of step into that role a bit.
Ben Good has come into that role, or certainly into the team, to replace Owen Foxwell. I think the point guard duties are by committee right now. Turnover there. Fletcher was looking for Mola. The Airs lead by 3. Toihi Basketball Aotearoa opened up free agency a couple of days ago. Keep your eyes peeled for a lot of announcements to come up in the Pro Women's League over the next few weeks, as Don Carey Jr. gets busy. He's had a big season for the Nuggets, hasn't he?
He sure has, and just recently he's just been doing some great job of attacking under the rim and getting to the rim and not relying on his three-point shot. So it's good to see that he's, creating some opportunities inside.
One of the things that the Nuggets do really well, Fletcher fires from deep. There's a foul underneath here. One of the things that the Nuggets do really well, and in fact most teams, every team in the competition does well, is they get out in the community during the week and spend time at schools and community groups. And I see the Airs during the season have been helping out at food banks and all that sort of stuff. It's great to see. What's life like down here in Dunedin during the Sal's NBL season when the Nuggets get out in the community? Because the fans love it, don't they?
They love it, and especially, when we have our Meridian Mall activation of, people can come and meet the players at the Meridian Mall. We set up some basketball hoops down there, and everyone comes out and supports and wants to, get the player's signature and win some free gear. So it's awesome just having the great community here in Dunedin.
6.5 to play in the first half here tonight. This is a really tight contest.
Pretty low scoring as well, to be honest.
And a turnover there. We've seen a few of them tonight. Chemist Warehouse stat sheet right now. Nuggets shooting at 38%. The Airs at 30%. The Airs with 6 turnovers. The Nuggets with 5. It just feels like this game is going in slow motion right now.
It sure does. I feel like the ball just keeps popping out of the rim there.
We get the pleasure of seeing a lot of exciting free-flowing games in the Sal's NBL. I'm not sure we're seeing one of those tonight. Carey Jr. can't get through Mola. Aitchison.
Back to him.
Here he is again. Fires over the top. Down it goes for Donald Carey Jr.
Great shot. I mean, he recognised the shot clock. There was 5 seconds and he had to shoot there. But had his hands ready. Great recognition on the shot clock.
He's up to 15 now, Carey Jr. Davison gave up the 3 on Seabury. Now steps back out, sends it into the hands of Craig Mola, who's fouled.
It's not what you want to do. Do not want to foul on the 3-point line.
Mola will head to the stripe for a little bit of extra shopping at the Chemist Warehouse tonight. He's got 3 shots coming his way.
I think that's 2 fouls on Josh Aitchison.
It is. He's got a couple. Of course, Fletcher carrying a couple from the opening 50 seconds of the game. Mike Kelly there watching on.
Harden's checked back in. It'll be interesting to see if he can get his shot back going after an impressive rapid lead game. What was his score
Yeah,
there?
Christian Martin had 15 points earlier tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. The Nuggets getting home 35 to 31 as Mola converts the first. 7.7 rebounds for him tonight so far. There's Sam McKinnon watching on. Got his coaching staff there with him, Trent Adam and Andrew Green. Second one is good. Second season in charge, Sam McKinnon, by the way, of the for the Airs. And make that 3 for Craig Mola.
He looked to see that he was warming his hands up as he was shooting those free throws, but maybe it was a cold air here in the Edgar Centre, but wasn't a problem. He was able to make all 3 of those shots.
Casey Frank always has fun telling me the stories. Oh, Jalen Seabury with a big 3 rattling around. Casey Frank always tells me the stories back in the day, of course, because he's an old timer now. But down here, warming up, wearing beanies and gloves and all sorts of things.
Nah, I mean, that's what our imports usually come with. When they come down to Dunedin, they're like, oh my goodness, it's freezing. But I always remind them it's nothing worse than my 6 a.m. basketball trainees before high school. That was like a freezer box back in high school days. So when I'm like comparing it to this, I'm like, oh, this is a very nice arena to be in right now.
I'm actually quite impressed that any high school student is out of bed before 6 a.m. in the morning. Nuggets by 2. Midway through the second, and this man is getting really busy. Carey Jr. can't put that away over Davison. Here is Davison looking to respond, slips it through. Tiny gap, and he got it into the hands of Kelman Potter for 2.
Beautiful pass and recognition there. On the switch on defense, he's just able to pop that pass right into Kelman Potter.
And here's Carey Jr. Jansen, good set piece, getting it through to Seabury, who converts. That was a lovely play by the Nuggets. Timeout called by Sam McKinnon. And I reckon Sam McKinnon has just seen what we've just seen, and that's this. G.J. Gardner-Holmes replay. That was a set piece right there.
Great pride by Jansen.
Yep. Good basket there for the Nuggets. As we mentioned earlier, Mike Kelly and Sam McKinnon know each other very, very well. Formerly on the coaching staff together at the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. And tonight they find themselves at opposing ends of the floor. These two teams actually meet again in a few weeks' time, so this is the first time they've played against each other this season.
Yeah, quite a late time to meet up against each other, but as you can see, it's a nail biter right now. It could go either way.
Next 3 games for the Nuggets. They've got the Giants away, and then the Rams and the Fight here at the Edgar Centre. And the Airs next 3, they take on the Hawks next week back in New Plymouth. Gee, that game so crucial for the Hawks, maybe crucial for the Airs if they go down tonight. Then they got the Giants at home. Sorry, they got the Hawks away in Hawke's Bay, I should say. Then they play the Giants back in New Plymouth. And then they're on the road to the Bulls. And this season in the Salons NBL, I think the great example of you've got to be on for every game right now is the Franklin Bulls. They were sitting 3rd on the ladder, and they've lost their last 6 and find themselves in 9th.
Yeah, and the Sharks, they were down at the bottom of the ladder at the start of the season, and now they've jumped right back up. So
yep, up into the 6.
Yeah, so you know, it just shows what can happen. Could go either way.
Back underway, Nuggets by 2. Deng Dutt's going to go late on the shot clock here. Had a second to burn. And the Nuggets come up with it defensively. Long shot. Carey Jr. Fletcher with the rebound. This is good for the Nuggets. The Nuggets on average give up 97 points a game. It's the worst in the competition. They give up 2 there to Carlin Davison, but they've held the Airs to just 29 so far. Martin for 3. He is having a big night. Christian Martin dominated the Sky Broadband Rapid League game, he was landing huge three-pointers.
Just leaving off right where he left off in the Rapid game there.
And that'll be good for big Jack Andrew. Seabury with the foul.
And that's what the Airs want to do. You know, they really want to get that post-touch feed inside and then create opportunities after that. And Jack Andrews has, you know, proven this year that he's going to be aggressive under the rim. So, you know, as a defender, you've got to be ready. When he's catching the ball, he's going to try and look to score it any way he can.
One of the most improved, isn't he?
He sure has.
It's been a big year for this man, Jack Andrew. He just felt like, you know, maybe he thought, I need to move away, need to get up every day in a new environment and try something different, and it has certainly worked for him.
Sure has, and he's just showing a lot more confidence and aggression this season, so it's just great to see that, you know, he's come into his own as a player this year.
Well, you would have spent a fair bit of time here at the Edgar Centre rubbing shoulders with Jack Andrew. From all reports, he is a very, very quiet individual.
Yes, he sure is. I mean, I had a chat to one of the players last year, and I remember them saying that Jack Andrews said one word, and that was his one word for the whole day.
Don Carey Jr. with another three for the Nuggets, who lead by that margin. He is a real handful at the moment for the Airs. Up to 18 points, game high. Here he is, right on cue. He's feeling it right now. Sends it inside. Jono Jansen can't finish. It's a great feed, wasn't it? He averages 6.5 assists a game, Don Carey Jr. Davison getting busy. He has bounced back from that injury 48 hours ago, Colin Davison.
Yeah, he's looking right up there. As you can see, he's pretty much playing one-on-one defense to DC. Don Carey Jr. not letting him catch the ball.
Jack Andrew with one block and good defense in the end on Jono Jansen. That was our matchup tonight to keep an eye on. Jansen and Andrew, and they're probably 50-50 at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that Jono's been pretty impressive this game, actually.
7 points, 5 rebounds for Jansen, and for Jack Andrews, 6 points, 2 rebounds at the moment. Here is Jansen. And he can hit outside shots. He gets all the way to the rack, though, and Deng Dut commits the foul.
I mean, he did great recognition of the shot clock. He knew he had to put up some sort of shot, and I just like how aggressive he is to the rim and trying to find that, you know, layup under the rim there.
So Jono Jansen heads to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. First one. Nothing but net. He's 2 of 3 from this spot so far this evening. And the second one is good as well. And as far as mini breaks go in this game, this is about as big as we've seen for the Nuggets since the first minute and a half. Jalen Duran responds with 2. And we're back to 1.
Just doing a great job of just probing the defense, coming off that screen, trying to, you know, get the defense to shift, and he was able to just pull up his jump shot right there, which is his bread and butter.
Just a chat there between Sparta card official Sharon Martin and Don Carey Jr. Not sure what that was about. 1:45 to play in this first half. Both teams have their BNZ player timeout alive. Here's Freeman. He's not going to get past Dom Kelman Porto. Knox did well on the baseline, and that slipped out of the hands of Jansen. I reckon we may see a couple of the BNZ player timeouts used here in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, both teams haven't called a timeout yet, player timeout, so I'm sure just in this last minute 23, one of the teams are going to definitely call a player timeout.
Here's Jalen Duran. Oh, he's got some space there as Jack Andrews slipped through for him. There is Big Jack underneath. and he draws more contact. So a lot of free throws late in the first half here. BNZ player timeouts take us into the minds of the players, because they originally started in Tauihi before they were picked up in the Sel's NBL. The opportunity for the players not to have any influence from the coach and do their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird not having your coach involvement, but it's great for players. You know, we show leadership, and we have to figure out the best play that we think will give us the opportunity down the stretch. And usually it's crucial timeout play that we need to set up. So there's a lot of practice as well, you know, in our own personal team practices that we run through certain plays that we should do in those player timeouts.
Timeout called here after a basket there from the Chemist Warehouse. 37 apiece as we head down towards half-time. The large buffalo chicken pizza, that's this week's special, with thanks to our friends at Sal's. That is available until next Tuesday. We haven't had too many big highlights in this game tonight. It has been a real grind.
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way. Both teams are scoring back and forth. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see after this second half which team comes out firing. And if there's a gap that starts to widen, or if it's just going to stay pretty close right down to the end of the game.
Results so far in week 12 of the Sal's NBL. Saints took down the Bulls by 16 midweek. Sharks over the Airs by 9 48 hours ago. Fi, a really good win against the Giants last night. Keep an eye on the Fi. Sean Bairstow was out last night. That was an all-Kiwi lineup last night, the Fi. They got the win over the Giants by 18. And how about those Rams? Gee, they're dominant right now, aren't they? The reigning two-time champions, defeating the Hawks in Hawke's Bay earlier today, 110 to 78. They are a formidable lineup.
They sure are, and all the games, I mean, they've been scoring the ball heaps. The points are just, I just keep seeing 100, 120. You know, they're doing something right down there.
Freeman turns it over at one end, and Mola is creating some havoc at the other. And he is going to head to the stripe here. Craig Mola started off really well tonight. He's been solid. 9 points, 7 rebounds and a block for the 30-year-old Australian. Former AFL player, of course. We were talking about that the other night.
Jack of all trades.
Played one game with the Fremantle Dockers. You spent a bit of time in Western Australia, didn't you, through your career?
Yeah, I played over in Perth, so I know Freo, that area a bit.
Lovely part of the world.
Sure is. Actually, my teammate, she plays for the women's AFL for the Freo Dockers.
There you go. And Mola puts those two away. That is the margin. Inside a minute to play. Don Terry Jr. has been pretty electric so far tonight. Opens it up for Jansen. Gave up the three. Takes Deng Dut right to the rack here and finishes strong.
Way to just finish through the defense there and just be aggressive and strong there with that finish.
Jansen has 11 now. Andrew luckily fell into the hands of Kelman Poto, who's fouled on the turnaround. And Kelman Poto,
he's just a beast. He's pretty hard to guard in there, you know. He's going to draw those fouls, and the Nuggets are on 5 team free throws, so now any foul down the stretch, they're going to be sending the air to the free throw line and stopping the clock. So don't want to be doing that right now, so the Nuggets really need to tighten up in their defense.
Nuggets 6 of 11 from the Chemist Warehouse tonight. The Airs, after that miss, are 10 of 12. He's been a wonderful player over the years, Dom Kelman Poto. Just a real servant really good 3x3 basketballer as well. Has represented New Zealand and done many amazing things in his career. I think he's still got a few years left in the tank as well. Of course, he's well known for his hairstyles. It's pretty tame at the moment.
It is. I'm pretty surprised. Usually there's a bright colour in his hair or a different design, so a different look tonight.
Oh, very tame right now. Dying seconds here. Kerry Jr. just forces his way through. And in the end, the Airs were scurrying to try and get out of the way. And Kerry Jr. will now head to the stripe at the other end. 18 points in the first half for him tonight. Averages 22 a game, so he's more than on track for that.
Definitely, and I mean, the Nuggets really need him to be providing that this game, and he's doing just a great job of attacking the rim, finding it, and he knows as soon as he's catching that ball that he's going to do something good with it.
Don't forget, we're going to hear from Matthew Bardsley at half-time, having a chat to him about the exciting news in the last couple of days here in Dunedin of the new local ownership group coming in to take on the Nuggets and the Hoi Ho. So make sure you stay with us for that. And Kerry Jr. nails them. 20 points in the opening half for him tonight. 4.8 BNZ player timeout here called with 4.8 on the clock. Now, if you are new to the BNZ player timeout, of course, 30 seconds. Each team gets one per half. It's only about the players on the court. No coaches, no subs, no interaction with the sidelines. And you advance the ball. So we will see the Nuggets with a late chance here. Your chance to scan that QR code, by the way, with thanks to BNZ. And grab yourselves some tickets to the big game. Come and join us at the NZNBL with thanks to our friends at BNZ. Wonderful program. Lots of people enjoying that. Late chance. Oh, Jack Andrew getting up. Nuggets give up. Oh, no, they don't. Don Kerry Jr. has really quickly realised that they had their own BNZ player timeout alive. Smart play in the end.
Very smart play. Great recognition. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to go coast to coast with 2 seconds to go. So good for them to have a set play right now.
So the Airs at one end, we're trying to find Jack Andrew at the hoop. And now after their own BNZ player timeout, the Nuggets with 2.3 seconds to play can try and land a late blow here. Let's see what they do. Out of the player timeout, they're going to get an opportunity. Are they in time? That would have counted for Caleb Smiler. So a huge opportunity there late for the Otago Nuggets. And as we head into half-time, it is the home team leading by 1. A nail-biter tonight so far in Dunedin. Nuggets 41, Airs 40. Chemist Warehouse stats coming up on the other side of the break. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Edgar Centre tonight. Chilly Dunedin, snow, sleet, wind, rain. We've had it all. Justin Nelson, Zoe Richards with you. Hope you're well. Nuggets lead this one by 1 at the half, 41-40. Don Carey Jr. leading all scorers with 20. He's been pretty special, hasn't he?
He's been impressive this game. I mean, yeah, he's doing well out there. And so is Jono Jansen with the rebounds, 7, and Seymour, he's been doing great as well, offensive rebounds especially.
Davison with 4 assists. Really good to see him out there tonight. Didn't think we'd see him play. He was very much questionable right up until tip-off. And big Jack Andrew back in familiar territory has 3 blocks in the opening half tonight. A couple of steals for Dom Kelman Poto. All of the stats, of course, in the NZNBL, proudly brought to you by Chemist Warehouse. Half-time here. Nuggets lead by 1. Stay tuned. Matthew Bardsley to join us after the break. Bards, take us back to the start of the season when that news first broke that the organisation was looking for new ownership. What was the feeling like amongst the team, amongst the community?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of uncertainty, obviously.
Bards, take us back to the start of the season when that news first broke that the organisation was looking for new ownership. What was the feeling like amongst the team, amongst the community?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of uncertainty, obviously.
My Hockey Maya, welcome back to the Edgar Centre tonight. Halfway down, the Nuggets lead this one by 1. We know they can't make the playoffs this season, but they can certainly spoil the party for quite a few teams, including the Airs, who are on the southern swing. They went down to the Sharks on Thursday night. They trailed by 1. Here, Matthew Bardsley just stretching out and warming up at the moment. We look forward to seeing him in the second half. Now, Zoe Richards joining me and you on Sky Sport tonight. Of course, the news during the week of new owners coming in, local owners, a consortium coming in to take over the Nuggets and the Hoi Hor. Very exciting.
Very exciting. It's just great to have it, you know, that it's locally owned and to have it in Dunedin and having everyone back here in Dunedin, you know, so I'm just excited to have that being kept here.
Well, I did have the chance to catch up with Matthew Bardsley. There he is, right on cue, going to the hoop. The slippery eel, of course, always good to have a chat to. He's played more than 100 games for the Nuggets. And we caught up before the game to talk about the new ownership and the changes and the excitement down here in Dunedin. Bards, take us back to the start of the season when that news first broke that the organisation was looking for new ownership. What was the feeling like amongst the team, amongst the community?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of uncertainty. Obviously, the Nuggets are so important to this community, and so us being unsure about ownership, not knowing if we'll be around next year. Yeah, we had a job to do in terms of basketball this season, but also that overhanging feeling of like what's going to happen next year. So yeah, just a bit uncertain, I'd say, would be the main feeling there.
And then of course we now fast forward, and the great news during the week, a local consortium have come together and they will be taking on the ownership of the Nuggets and the Hoi Hor going forward. So great news.
Yeah, all I can say is exciting, really. Great to have the community come together and for the Nuggets and the Hoi Hor to be on the floor in front of this awesome Otago community. Important for basketball in the community with all the youngsters coming up. Yeah, really exciting.
And these two teams have a lot of local talent. How important is it for you and for that talent that it is local ownership?
Yeah, very important, like to have that connection, have that community feel. I've said that word a few times. With all the locals here, I think that's very important. Yeah.
There he is, Matthew Bardsley, talking about the excitement of new owners announced a couple of days ago for the Nuggets and the Hoi Hor. And I think we're seeing it, Zoe Richards, right across the country, especially with the Rapid League innovation. We're seeing a real swing towards local players, and I think the Nuggets and the Hoi Hor are right up the top there, and they've done it now for a few years. They have a real commitment to local players, and you know, you're obviously one of them, but Matthew Bardsley's been a big part of the Nuggets program for the last 5 or 6 years, hasn't he?
Yeah, they sure do a great job of just looking after us local players, and it's just great to see that we also have the awesome community behind us that backs us, and I'm sure they're all extremely excited to be hearing that, you know, the Nuggets and Hoi Hor aren't going anywhere, and it's staying right here in Dunedin. And that's, you know, as you can see tonight, there's fans everywhere out in the game, no matter, you know, even though the Nuggets aren't contending for the final playoffs, but, you know, the whole community still comes out and supports them.
Well, they are leading this game at the moment, and that is exciting enough for the hometown fans. Up by 1 at the half. What do you think the message would have been from Mike Kelly to the Nuggets at half-time?
I think the focus on the defense inside, you know, boxing out and not letting the Ears get a second opportunity. Every time they are getting those offensive rebounds, they're scoring. So, you know, the Nuggets really just need to keep boxing their players out there on defense.
They've been matching the Airs pound for pound at the moment. Airs lead the rebound count 21-20. Or give and go here. Smart play from the Nuggets right off the bat. And just unlucky there for Seabury. They caught the Airs napping. The Airs were lucky to get away with that. And let's not forget, we're talking about the best team in the interior, in the Airs, up against the worst team in the interior this season, the Nuggets. So they are holding their own at the moment. Jack Andrew misses that.
Just 2 unlucky finishes under the rim there.
Here's Bardsley. Seabury on the drive. Fletcher needs to be careful. 2 early fouls in this game tonight. Tough pass, Jansen to Seabury. Fletcher does come through here and picks it up for the Airs. Turnover for the Nuggets. Mola runs into trouble, sends it back out. Shot clock at 13. Do it to the corner. Mola can hit threes. He's hit a couple tonight. Big Jack Andrew all alone underneath.
Way too open there. Nuggets just need to find a body and box him out.
Well, nobody went near him then. Double-digit scoring for Jack Andrew again tonight. 10 points in the game. Seabury. They want to get into the hands of Don Carey Jr. Here he is, right on cue. 20 points in the opening half. Feeds it to Jansen, who just skips through the middle. Can't finish. Just a little bit of energy right now from the Airs at both ends. Looks like they've been given a rev up from Sam McKinnon at half-time. Davison forced under the backboard. Turnover. And Seabury settles it down. Jansen with the catch on Andrew. Turns it over into the hands of Davison. And Don Carey Jr. unable to keep that in. Very reminiscent of the first half so far. This has been scrappy, hasn't it?
Sure has, and it looks like the Knights have been struggling to get the ball to DC, Don Carey Jr. at the moment. He's been face guarded, and so I guess the Airs have talked about that at half-time, how important it is to find him a match-up early, because he is a key component to the Nuggets offense.
Just 2 points scored in the opening couple of minutes of this third quarter. Davison, that's a tough pass for Jack Andrew. He's never going to get that. Carey Jr. to Jansen, slapped into the glass.
Wow,
by
that's
Carlin
impressive.
Davison. Well, he's an impressive young man.
Great athleticism there. Timed it very well.
And here he is from the corner for three. Leaves that short. Battle on the board, Seabury. I'm not sure that there's a more exciting player in the Sal's NBL than Carlin Davison. There's a foul off the ball here as Jansen goes to the floor.
Yeah, he's just impressive to watch, flying through the air. Very athletic player, and so it's pretty cool to watch him play when he's showing his athleticism out there on the court.
Coming into the competition as a 15-year-old. 7th season now in the Sal's NBL for Carlin Davison. Still got so many years ahead of him. Seabury, Andrew with the block. Off he goes. Here he is, the excitement machine himself, Carlin Davison.
Coast to coast. Great aggressive drive there. You know he's going to do that. He's going to draw the defense, and great finish from him inside.
And given what we saw, there's that drive from Carlin Davison, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Given what we saw late against the Sharks just 48 hours ago, and the way that he was carried off the court after the final buzzer, it's quite amazing that he's out there tonight. So well done to the medical crew, the physios and everyone involved at the Airs for getting Carlin Davison back onto the floor tonight. And he's doing his bit, there's no doubt about that. Bardsley's travelled there.
The Airs have just really lifted their defense this second half, and it's becoming a bit of a problem for the Nuggets because they're struggling to score and getting the ball to DC. They're pressuring up and forcing turnovers.
Davison, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists and 2 blocks. And the Airs down by 1 at the half, now lead by 4. Here's Dood. Pulls up the dribble under pressure from Freeman. Davison comes up to help out, sends it back out to Deng Dood, but he has run straight through the middle of the man you call DC, Don Carey Jr. He picks himself back up.
Great recognition by him on defense. You know, he knows that Davison's going to drive attack aggressively to the hoop, so great job of just sliding over in defense and then putting it into the referee's hands there and pulling a charge.
Coming your way tomorrow in the Sal's NBL, a Sunday afternoon double, the Giants at home to the Jets. And the Tuatara, I think a sellout up in Auckland. They take on the Fire. To be a sellout in Nelson as well. They always sell out. So some big crowds tomorrow. Don Carey Jr. Speaking of fans and crowds, he's a fan favourite here in Dunedin. He is a man who can lead them to victory here tonight.
I mean, when the ball's in his hand, he's dangerous, and so, you know, the Airs just need to keep locking in on him on defence.
Fletcher with a miss. Seabury, fancy stuff around Mola. Seabury, coast to coast. Bardsley there to clean it up with the highlight. But the foul was called, and Jalen Seabury will head to the Chemist Warehouse strike. Substitutions for both teams. Just under 6 to play in this third quarter. Nuggets 39% shooting tonight. Airs also 39%. Rebound count, Airs 26. Nuggets 22. 10 turnovers for the Nuggets and 10 for the Airs. There is nothing in this contest. All of the stats, of course, with thanks to Chemist Warehouse as Seabury makes the first. Tell us a little bit about Jalen Seabury. He was a mid-season pickup.
Yes, he was, and he's been, he just slotted in pretty well. I know that him and DC are roommates, or not roommates, but flatmates, and so, you know, I think that creates a good dynamic on the court, being able to just slot right into the Nuggets, and really a really nice guy, actually, so I'm really happy for the Nuggets that they picked him up.
Duncan and Poto with the 2 for the Airs. One thing to keep an eye on here as this game continues to unfold, Armon Fletcher is yet to score. Jansen loves a 3. Fletcher yet to score and Deng Dut yet to score. So they are 2 players to keep an eye on. Mola inside to Davison. Moves back to the basket on the spin, Davison, and he's fouled. That's going to be against Seabury, I think it is. He's just a handful, isn't he, Carlin Davison?
He sure is, and he's just super aggressive when he catches the ball. And you know, if you're not ready on defense, then you're gonna draw a foul on him. So, you know, you can't be sleeping when you're guarding Carl Davison because he's just gonna be attacking the rim the whole time.
Zoe Richards, Toihi Star with the Southern Hoi Ho, and also a Tall Ferns forward joining us on Sky Sport tonight. Davison gets the job done. Airs by 4. He takes a break. And this game continues to be a real arm wrestle. Smiler to Knox. A lot of rotations at the moment for these 2 teams, especially for the Nuggets. Jansen dumps it in underneath to Freeman. Really good setup there from Jono Jansen.
Yeah, I mean, great recognition by him. Able to draw the defense over and just do a beautiful dump pass into Freeman.
Brings it back to 2. Fletcher. Durand. As I said, Fletcher yet to score in this game. Helen Poto swings it out. Exeter. Durand took contact. And I reckon that's going to be the early whistle, maybe on Darcy Knox originally. And in the end...
Duncan Jr. Yep, DC.
Yep, came across. So that'll send Jalen Durand to the strike. Chemist Warehouse shooting tonight. 10 of 15 for the Nuggets. The Airs 14 of 16. Make that 15 of 17. That's what you like to see as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, those points on the free throws are extremely important. And, you know, at the end of the game, if you've left points on the board, well, that's usually come to the free throw line. And, yeah, you just really need to make those shots.
Durand up to 7 points in the game. Really pleased to see that he was picked up through the trade window.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see that even though the Panthers didn't turn out, that he's been able to get another opportunity playing for the Airs. And, you know, he's really just stepped into the team in the rapid game, you know, scoring extremely well and being aggressive, and then showing this leadership now into the main game.
Just picked up for a foul there, Jalen Durand. A little bit of holding on with Darcy Knox. Airs by 4. Let's see if the Nuggets can respond. In good hands right now with Don Carey Jr. Just keeps coming up big, doesn't he? 24 points now for Carey Jr.
Just the aggressive offense that he has is just really crucial for the Nuggets. He's just been aggressive, driving down the lane, and just finishing, which has been great to see this game.
Fletcher turns it over at one end, and there he is again. Carey Jr. Back-to-back drives. Timeout called by Sam McKinnon. The Airs want to have a chat, all tied up at 51 apiece. The Don Carey Jr. show continues. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Too quick, too smart, and too clinical in the end. Another two for Don Carey Jr.
Seems like he's doing a little chit-chat to the refs, so he's got to keep himself in line there, because I know that the refs aren't going to be too happy if he keeps going on to them about that. But I'm loving the takes that he's doing to the drive to the hoop.
Now, while we've got you with us tonight on Sky Sport, it's a good chance to ask us about your own, or ask you, sorry, about your own career. Zoe, you've had some injuries, but you'll be back for the Tauihi season, and then what comes next?
Yeah, at the moment I'm studying early childhood teaching, so that's kind of what I'm looking to do after basketball, or while doing both. So I'm very lucky that I'm able to study and play basketball.
Well, you have spent some time overseas, of course, the last few years in both Europe and Australia.
Yes, so it's nice just to have a change of scene and just take a step back this year, let my body somewhat recover, and yeah, get back and be fresh for the Tahi League season at the end of the year.
It's one of the things that I'm not sure that Kiwis up and down the country fully realise, and that is the amount of New Zealanders, men and women, playing basketball overseas. There's just so many through the collegiate system in the US and in other leagues around the world. Of course, many play over in Australia and come home to play here in the NZNBL and the GJ Gardner-Holmes Tauihi, but it has become a real career, hasn't it?
It sure has, and you know, with the time of the season now, it has allowed, you know, people to play all year round, go over to a country and then come back, you know, for example, go back to Australia, come back and play in New Zealand, and so it's actually quite good that the seasons are at different times.
Sal's NBL highlight show every Tuesday night. Join us for the best bits. Lots of basketball every week in this competition. Wall-to-wall hoops. The setup, delightful from Kelman Poto, and the finish. Armon Fletcher, first points of the game for him. Just his third shot in the game. Let's not forget he goes at 17 points per contest. He did cop 2 fouls in the opening 50 seconds earlier tonight. It's been a tough night at the office for Armon Fletcher, but ominous signs as he gets his first points.
I mean, this might spark a little fire in him to get him going for the last little bit of the third quarter.
Just over 2.5 to play. Here's the man of the moment right now, Carey Jr. Jono Jansen launches for 3.
He loves that shot at the top of the three-point line. He's always catching, ready to shoot, and it's great to see.
And the Nuggets take the lead. This was the margin at halftime. Turnover. Kelman Poto gives it to Knox. To Freeman, who carves a path through. And another 2 for the Nuggets.
Great recognition by Darcy. He had his hands down the lane and was able to tip the ball, bring the ball up strong, and was able to do a beautiful pass, pocket pass into Freeman there, and great finish in the run.
And this crowd finding some voice. It's always a bit of a tougher one for the viewers here because the cameras look across to that far side, but down opposite the cameras, on the camera side I should say, it's a big crowd in the stands.
Yeah, it's quite deceiving here in the Edgar Centre when fans are looking from afar. We do have a lot of fans, but it's just quite spread out. The Edgar Centre is quite a big stadium to pack.
Nuggets by 3. And those fans will be liking what they're seeing at the moment. Fletcher with another 2. And he's got back-to-back baskets for the Airs now.
Yeah, he sure has. And he's, you know, like I said, he's got that fire in him now. So the Nuggets really need to keep a close eye on him and lock in on defense.
Young Patrick Freeman. Jansen now. Just too much on it in the end. He thought there was contact. Davison inside. Jack Andrew. And the Airs respond.
Yeah, I mean, great initiation by Davison there, pushing the ball while Jansen was down, and it was a 5-on-4 play, and Jack Andrews got the score inside. Great running on the lanes.
Leading scorers for the Airs tonight. Davison has 16. Jack Andrew up to 12 now. Craig Moeller has 11. In fact, he's got a double-double. Moeller, 11 points, 11 rebounds. Don Carey Jr. leading the way for the Nuggets with 26. Jono Jansen has 14. He takes a break at the moment. Matt Stoddart onto the floor. Up and under. Caleb Smiler.
Great recognition of the defense there. Was able to shuffle round and finish the reverse layup right at the top of the glass.
And again, just the way the first half finished, basket for basket. Nuggets by 1. Davison surrounded, found a way through to Jack Andrew, had 2 cracks at it. Smiler comes up with it. Plenty of time on the clock. And they steady. Here he is, the slippery eel. Matthew Bardsley on that left. Have a look at this, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. This is why he's called the slippery eel. Just finds a way through.
Great job. And as you can see out there on the court right now, it's just all Kiwi players for the Nuggets. And, you know, Mike does a great job of just trusting in and putting those players back out there. And just showing right now how well they're doing.
Bardsley misses from the Chemist Warehouse. Speaking of Kiwis, Davison left it behind. Picked it up, gave it back to Craig Moeller for 3. Ties it up. 60 apiece. Good night for Moeller. Timely triple. Clock at 18. In fact, shot clock is just a couple of seconds inside the game clock. Bardsley turns the corner. Big Max Stoddart for 3. Deng Dut is back out there, but he stepped on the baseline. It's going to be a Nuggets ball. That is so unfortunate for the Airs.
Extremely. There's only 3 seconds left, so they've given the Nuggets another opportunity to score.
There's that 3 from Craig Moeller.
Beautiful. Just have his hands ready for the catch and shoot, and he's just going to let it fly.
3.3, ball into Bardsley on the turnaround. Matthew Bardsley right on the buzzer. And this crowd is starting to sense an upset tonight. 3 quarters down, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Here he is, the athletic one. Bardsley with the 2, and that is the margin at 3/4 time. Big last quarter coming your way tonight on Sky Sport. Don't go away. Welcome back to Dunedin, a Saturday night special for you in the NZNBL. Close contest, 1 point in it at half time. Scores were tied up at quarter time, and it's a Nuggets 2-point lead at the last change. Justin Nelson, Zoe Richards with you. This is a bit of fun tonight, Zoe.
It sure is. It's great to see the awesome crowd out and getting involved in the game. And I mean, it's a nail biter of a game, so it can go either way. And it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in this last quarter.
And we did say coming in tonight that the Nuggets can play the party poopers, the spoilers for so many others who are trying to make the final six. Davison, chance for the first points in this last quarter. Of course, the Nuggets can't make the finals. They're the one team right now mathematically that it just won't happen. There's 10 teams still in contention of the 11. Quite amazing for the final six.
But I just love how, you know, even though they're not going to make the playoffs, they're playing out there with heart and being proud, you know, making a proud game for the home community back here in Dunedin.
Well, don't get me wrong, every team wants to make the playoffs first and foremost, but when you know you can't, the next best thing is to upset someone else.
Oh yeah.
To take away that opportunity from them.
Yeah, and you know, when that happens, the other team is so upset, and it just feels so good that you've actually got that win, and another win for the Nuggets will be great for them.
Well, they're on the southern swing, the Airs, 9-point losers to the Sharks, and they've got a real battle on their hands right now against the Nuggets. Game on, 9.5 to play. Don Carey Jr. has had a big night. Shot clock at 3. Jansen's got to go. Jansen does go. Rebound Mola. He's had plenty of those tonight. He's the leading rebounder on the floor with 13. Here he is. Hands it off to Fletcher. Been tough going for him. And he gets that one to go. Armon Fletcher. Didn't score until midway through the third.
No, and he's just been really aggressive now in this end of the third quarter, going into the fourth, and you know that's pretty vital for the Airs, having another aggressive offensive player back out there on the court. They really need that, so for the Airs it's really good, but the Nuggets really need to lock down on defense on him.
Early stages, game MVP, have your vote. Let us know who you think the MVP is tonight. Don Carey Jr. at 13% there deserves a little bit more love. We're all tied up as Alan Davison just boots the ball out of court, as you do.
Back into the crowd.
Had his arms by his side when he did it as well. It was very little effort in the end.
Should be a footballer.
Here is Don Carey Jr. Game high score with 26. Freeman. I really like this young man and the way he's growing this season.
Yeah, I mean, he went and played a season over in Canada, I think.
Yep, he did, yep.
So, and he's come back and he's just, you know, come back way more aggressive and just ready to step it up this year. So it's great to see him just slotting right back in.
Turnover number 11 there for the Nuggets. The Airs have 14 turnovers tonight on the Chemist Warehouse stat sheet. Margin at 2. Airs were down by 2 at three-quarter time. Deng Dutt has not scored, has now. Massive three-pointer in the context of the game. He was 0 of 5 before that, Deng Dutt. But he lands a big blow, and now the Nuggets have to respond. Freeman runs into Mola, who got a piece of it, and then Fletcher was the guy that he ran into. Big moments right now. Margin at 5 for the Airs. Somehow Fletcher comes up with it, and he's fouled by Smiler.
Sure has, and the Airs are just playing super aggressively at the moment. It's just great to see that they're going coast to coast, pushing the ball, and now it's led to the Nuggets needing to call a timeout.
Yeah, Mike Kelly calls a timeout. He senses the urgency right now. The Airs have come out on a 7-0 run to start this last quarter. Carlin Davison at the moment the game MVP according to the viewers with 33% of the vote. He's got 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal and 2 blocks tonight. Pretty impressive when you consider
that he potentially wasn't going to play.
Well, it literally looked a minute or two before the game that he wasn't going to play.
Yeah, I was not sure if he was, but he's looking pretty good out there, and you wouldn't have even been able to tell that he was potentially injured. So those physio team for the Taranaki Airs have done a great job of getting him right and ready back on the court.
What have the Nuggets got to do from here? What's the message from Mike Kelly right now? They led by 2 at 3/4 time. They've given up 7 points in the opening 2 minutes of this last quarter. They trail by 5.
Yeah, I think they need to lock in on their defense and just get better flow on the offense. I think they've gone away from what they were doing well of being aggressive to the rim, and so I'd like to see them get back to the rim a bit more on offense.
So let's see what they come out with. Armon Fletcher steps up to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. 7 points in the game for him now. Let's see what he can do. It was a tough outing earlier in the night when he picked up his second foul 50 seconds into the game.
Sure was, and he was sat on the bench until the, I think, second quarter.
It was a long time, wasn't it?
Very long time.
He drains those 2 and he's up to 9 now. So all of a sudden, 7-point margin for the Airs. And now the Nuggets have to find something. Seabury. We've seen little bits and pieces from Seabury tonight.
But the Airs are just lifting their defense and forcing the ball out of DC's hands.
Davison, Dom Kelman-Porto, and the Airs are feeling it right now. They're out by 9. They've made their run.
This is the biggest lead of the game. And the Nuggets really need to execute right here on offense right now.
Well, we spoke to Jono Jansen before the game. That's going to be an offensive foul. There is absolutely no doubt that Christian Martin raised his elbow there. I think 2 Barter card officials have called different fouls there. One an offensive foul and one a block. But I reckon the offensive foul should stand. It's not. Wow.
Interesting.
So it's going to be a block in the end, and Christian Martin goes to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Maybe the officials had a different angle of it there, but from our position here, there's no doubt the elbow came out.
It sure did, and the defense looked pretty set to me, but... Oh, and the ball does not lie.
Martin misses the first. Just over 7 minutes to play. Big moment in the game. Second one goes down. And that's the first score of the last quarter for the Nuggets.
Yeah, very close start for them, and not ideal for this being the 4th quarter.
Snaps an 11-point run for the Airs, and now the Airs are going to turn that over. So isn't it funny? One call.
Flipped it back around.
The 2 officials had different views on it. It fell in the favour of the Nuggets. And all of a sudden, maybe a little bit of a momentum shift. Do they score out of this? Jansen to Carey Jr. on the drive. Got all the way there. That's a tough finish over Davison.
Tough finish, and the ball nearly popped out, but really great aggressive attacking this by DC.
And there you go. So the last 3 points now for the Nuggets. They're fighting back. Speaking of fighting his way through, Dom Kelman-Porto is all locked up inside by Josh Aitchison.
Great double down on defense. You know, he came in, recognised that Jansen was getting back down and forced the jump ball call by the referees.
Possession arrow sits with the Airs. Aitchison, I reckon Josh Aitchison just has a group of fans in Dunedin sitting in front of their TV screens every time the Nuggets play. And somehow he keeps coming up with the votes on the MVP. Davison aggressive to the basket there. Will head to the stripe. Has he got his own fan base here in Dunedin?
Maybe it's
Aitchison?
Maybe it's an accounting fan club. Maybe he is an accountant, so maybe he's got a few fans.
Well, someone's running the figures for him at the moment. Up to 29%. I think he was even on the leaderboard a couple of minutes ago.
Sure wasn't. He just jumped right up to the top.
We've got to keep an eye on those accountants.
Yeah.
Davison drains the first. Turning into a big game for him tonight. And puts the second away.
Looks like Darcy's checking back in for Martin and provide some leadership there and support on offense, bringing the ball up the court.
Margin at 8, dangerous pass to Aitchison. He's got the run of Seabury to go with him. Now they set something up. Carey Jr. Davison. What a contest that's been tonight. Jansen for 3. John Coleman-Potter has played a really serviceable game as well for the Airs tonight.
Just been doing the little things and he's a great post up inside and recognising when he has a mismatch.
Jansen with the block on Andrew. Seabury fires early for 3. Pulled the trigger. Probably a little bit too quickly. They did have some tall timber coming down through the middle though, and they get it back, the Nuggets. Cameron Potter takes a break for the Airs. Long way to go, just inside 6 minutes to play.
Ooh.
Oh, now tangled up inside, Mola and Seabury. There has been a whistle. I just wonder whether it's a warning. It is.
Looks like a warning for now.
Mola and Seabury getting to know each other. Here is Seabury.
One-on-one matchup inside.
Sends it out to Carey Jr. Fletcher got a hand on it, falls to Mola, to Davison, to Jack Andrew who misses. And I reckon in the end there was some confusion between Jack Andrew and Armand Fletcher as to who that pass was intended for.
Yeah, I feel like it was for Fletcher, but Jack Andrews came down the lane pretty strong and unfortunately missed that dunk.
Missed opportunity for the Airs. They bring it back in off the baseline. Shot clock at 7. Mola. Well, that looked like the most unlikely three-pointer. And somehow Craig Mola has got it to go. He's up to 17 points and 15 rebounds. And more importantly, Zoe, believe it or not, the margin is 11.
Yeah, that margin has just been extending since the Nuggets haven't really scored this fourth quarter. 16
to 3 last quarter. And Aitchison is fouled. They have come out on fire in this last quarter, the Airs. And I just think it was a sense of urgency. Went down to the Sharks on Thursday night. Southern swing is never easy, especially this time of the year. Snow and ice and rain and wind and...
Yeah, I mean, the Airs have just really come out this fourth quarter on defense and really locked in, pushing the ball, pushing pressure on the ball and forcing the Nuggets into turnovers or bad shot selection.
Well, the mid part of that ladder in the Suns NBL as well. The Airs came in 8 and 6. You drop down to 8 and 7. All of a sudden, you've got the Five, the Sharks, the Hawks, the Tuatara, they're all snapping at your heels. Turnover, Mola there on the pass. Jansen is fouled by Jalen Durand.
Be interesting to see what the call is, if it's 2 shots or not, because
it is going to be 2. Yeah, continuation. It's a good call in the end from Sharon Martin. Yeah, just getting back to the ladder. So the Airs came into this one tonight in 4th position, 8 wins and 6 losses. If they were to go down here, I would think unlikely right now, given the run they're on. But if they drop to 8 and 7, all of a sudden, Fire 7 and 7, Sharks are 7 and 8, Hawks are 7 and 8, Tuatara 6 and 7. Like, it is just a logjam.
it's pretty clogged in that middle area, isn't it? Could go either way this season with those middle teams.
Jono Jansen at the strike, drains a couple. Josh Aitchison is still leading the MVP vote. I think we've got to take that down.
He's got some big fans on the computer somewhere.
It's quite amazing, isn't it? It happens every single game for the Nuggets with Josh Aitchison. He's got his crew out there, no doubt. Margin at 8. Davison, tough pass for Mola. Has had a good night, misses that. Andrew battling for it, comes up with it, Big Jack. Oh, how about that?
Great rebound by Jack Andrews. Way to just keep fighting for it and creating
Look at this. And look at this. He just walked straight between Darcy Knox and Josh Aitchison, Jack Andrew, and said, thank you very much. As Casey Frank would say, stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
He just kept getting after it, didn't he?
In front of 3 defenders, he still managed to get that basket right there.
14 points, 10 rebounds tonight for Jack Andrew. Great Mola. We've mentioned him a few times. 17 points, 16 rebounds now.
Yeah, he's just been a big key player down there in the grind, getting all the rebounds offensively and defensively. Anytime a shot goes up, he's finding the builds.
Harlan Davison, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and a couple of blocks as well. All of the stats, of course, with thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
So that Carl Davison's defense has just been a huge presence this game. Especially the second half, he's really stepped it up and tried to be all over DC and trying to force the ball out of his hands, and it's, kind of created a real struggle for the Nuggets down this 4th quarter.
If there's one area where the Nuggets have done well tonight, they've held the Airs to 36 points in the paint. The Airs are number 1 in the competition, going at about 50 points per game for points in the paint. So that's been a good sign for the Nuggets. But one thing that Jono Jansen mentioned in the pre-game, when you look at the Nuggets season, is they just haven't been able to play 40 minutes. He was saying that plenty of games they've played 35, but they just have a patch somewhere. And we've seen it in the last 5 or 6 minutes in this last quarter, haven't we?
We sure have. I mean, yeah, the first half they were playing great. Even the 3rd quarter, they're stuck with the Airs, and yeah, unfortunately they've just gone through a bad patch.
Well, they led by 2 at 3/4 time. They're now down by 10 with just over 4 minutes to play.
Struggling to score here in this 4th quarter has created a huge issue for them, and the Airs are definitely optimising on the fact that they're not scoring.
Both of these teams are on the road next up. Nuggets head to Nelson to take on the Giants. Airs head to Hawke's Bay to take on the Hawks. Harmon Fletcher, another assist for Carlin Davison as well. Jansen, Nuggets have got to get busy. Jansen stepping back on Big Jack, who has another block. Shot clock at 10. Carey Jr. has been kept right out of this contest in the last quarter. Fires over Dut and gets it to go.
Tough shot to finish there, right over Dut.
30 piece for Carey Jr. tonight. Within 10, Deng Dut for 3. And he found it tough early in the game, Deng Dut. He's hit a couple of big triples in this second half though. A block for Mola and Bardsley with the foul. Everything coming up trumps right now for the Airs. Matthew Bardsley and Carlin Davison having a little bit of a chat.
Yeah, Jono just step in there, pull him aside.
And Davison will walk the length of the floor for a couple of shots in the bonus now. And as tough as this game was for 3 quarters, the Airs have come out into this last quarter with a job to do, and to be fair, they've done it.
They have, and fortunately it's not looking good for the Nuggets unless we see some super shooting from the Nuggets. I don't see how they're going to quite turn this game.
Davison converts, and he sits up on top of the MVP right now. Margin at 14. Carey Jr.
I mean, that's the way to do it. Attack the rim, draw a foul, get the clock stopped, then get some points on the board while the clock's stopped.
And these will be free throws number 54 and 55 for the night.
Wow, a lot of shooting from the free throw line tonight.
As we like to say, a lot of shopping at the Chemist Warehouse tonight. There's been plenty of it. Carey Jr. puts the first away. It'll be tough from here for the Nuggets, you think. The Airs have had their measure in this last quarter. Margin at 12. Nuggets need to get a stop. Deng Dut knows time is on the side of the visitors. Here he is backing down Darcy Knox, steps around to his right, left it short. Knox comes up with it and the runners are out. Jansen gets to the basket, one look at it on the second, can't put it away. The battle off the glass falls the way of the Airs.
Great defense by Miller there, just walling up on D and forcing Jono to take an off-balance shot.
He's been the quiet hero tonight, Craig Mola. Deng Dut has already landed a couple from that spot, and that's his 3rd triple of the night. Timeout for the Nuggets. Deng Dut with another killer blow late in this game, and a game-high margin of 15 now. It's a 27-10 run through this last quarter. The Airs within a couple of minutes of celebrating a good victory here tonight.
Sure is. It's quite the change-up from the first half of the game where it's just been head-to-head, and now the Airs have just come out and pulled away from the Nuggets, unfortunately, for the Nuggets.
Can I just say that we love our fans and we love our viewers, but they don't always get it right. Josh Aitchison, the MVP vote at the moment with 32%. Josh Aitchison's Chemist Warehouse stat sheet tonight. He's played 15 minutes, hasn't scored, put up 2 shots, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. That's his night.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about that MVP letter at the moment.
Don Carey Jr. leading the way for the Nuggets tonight with 30 points and 7 rebounds. Jono Jansen's been good, 17 points, 9 rebounds for him. But you have a look at the Airs. They have certainly fired up down the stretch here. Davison, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He's on triple-double watch. Craig Mola, 17 points, 16 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Jack Andrew, 14 points and 10 rebounds, 5 blocks for Jack Andrew tonight.
Yeah, he's just been a strong body inside, walling up, forcing a tough shot, and yeah, the Nuggets haven't really had an answer to that defense down there.
So, just under 2 minutes to play here in Dunedin this evening. Bardsley taking on Dengdut, sends it out to Freeman, who launches way too far in the end. Davison gets it back now, hands it off to Dut. Settling into the airs nicely, Dengdut. Fletcher inside, and the turnaround.
Great find by Davison. He knew Fletcher was inside and was able to just do an awesome pass straight to his hands and get that finish.
9 assists for Davison now. Here he is playing defense, reaching in on Carey Jr. And that's going to be another visit to the coloured stripe.
And I think that's 4 fouls on Davison.
Yeah, it is. And Fletcher has 4 as well. Dengdut with 3, Jack Andrew with 3. I think they might just about all see out this contest this evening. But Don Carey Jr. has certainly done his bit, hasn't he?
He sure has. You know, he's just really been an aggressive leader for the team this tonight, and huge part for the Nuggets.
Adds a couple there. Looks like Mike Kelly is going to run in some subs. Earlier tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, it was a win for the Nuggets. 35-31.
Let's put the youngies on. Boomer and Noah McDowell, I think, out there on the court.
Yeah, Noah McDowell, another local. And Boomer as well. Plenty of them coming through the system here in Dunedin. Great signs for the future.
I think Boomer's still in high school and Noah is second year at university studying law.
Geez, you know everybody's university schedule, don't you? I am very impressed, Zoe.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you've got Mum, who's one of the operation managers for the Nuggets. She knows all their schedules and yeah, tell me what's going on behind the scenes.
Close-knit family here in Dunedin. So, did you say Noah McDowell is studying law?
Yes.
Wow. Inside a minute. Margin at 15. Chance here for 3 off the hand of Martin. Jono Jansen will add another 2 tonight. He's got a few fans in the stands. Some late points for the Nuggets. Jalen Duran. Exeter.
Great hit by him. I mean, he's been shooting the ball well, especially in the rapid games. Just great to see him come out there and just knock down that 3 and just extended the lead, 92-76.
It'll end up being a really good win for the Airs. 32-14 last quarter. They trailed by 2 at 3-quarter time. And they're going to get the victory tonight. Hasn't been easy by any stretch. And I think this is maybe just a little bit of a warning shot to the rest of the competition who still have to play the Nuggets. Don't take them lightly. The Airs are going to get the job done here and double-digit win in the end, but it was anything except that for the first 3 quarters. And now they get a late chance through McDowell. Noah McDowell right on the final buzzer, and I reckon that's his first points in the Sal's NBL. Noah McDowell, what a moment for the young man. Would have been better if it had been the game winner, but anyway.
But right on the buzzer, great attack by Noah there, and great finish on the rim.
And that'll do us tonight. That isn't the final score. The scoreboard's already switched itself off here in the venue. But a final margin of 12 in the end, 92-80, the win for the Airs. In fact, 92 to 78 is the final score. So 14 points in the end. And it was the last quarter that did the damage. The Airs 32 to 16 down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, the Airs just came out in that last quarter firing and lifted their defense, and I guess the Nuggets didn't have really any answers on offense. They really struggled to get the ball in the hoop. For like 7 minutes, they were lost out with scoring.
Chemist Warehouse stat sheet tonight. Donald Carey Jr., fantastic for the Nuggets with 32. Davison, gee, when you consider we didn't think he was going to play, had a late fitness test to get up for this one. He ends up with 20 points. And look at the rebounds. Craig Moller, excellent tonight. Big double-double for him. Jono Jansen ends up with a double-double as well. So too Jack Andrew. And we're going to see how good he was with his blocks as well. Look at Davison end up with 9 assists there. Did it all. So close.
Sure was. I think he had 8 rebounds as well, so close to a double-double.
A triple-double.
A triple-double, yeah.
Jack Andrew with 5 blocks. Love the way he went about it tonight. Mole with 3 as well. As we have a look at the steals, Smiler and Kelvin Potter with a couple each. So a big win tonight for the Airs. They split the Southern Swing. They move to 9 wins and 6 losses on the season. Carlin Davison, justifiably so, is the game MVP tonight. He was excellent.
Very impressive to watch tonight.
And Zoe, great to catch up with you. Thanks for joining us on Sky Sport. And I know we're still a couple of months away, but all the best of luck in the 4th season of the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi, of course, New Zealand's Pro Women's League. We look forward to seeing you and the Southern Hoi back out there come September, October. Good luck.
Cool, thank you. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I've really enjoyed myself behind a different part of the screen.
Here's what's coming up in the Sal's NBL. Giants and the Jets tomorrow. Sky Broadband Rapid League from 12. Sal's NBL from 1. And then the Tuatara and the Phi. What a game that'll be. Rapid League at 2. Sal's NBL at 3. And then we're back at it in Christchurch on Wednesday night. Kids are on the floor, always a great thing to see in the Sal's NBL. All of the fans straight onto the floor to meet the players after the game. It's always a good sign, and they love it here at the Edgar Centre. Not their night though. They've gone down the Nuggets. A good win for the Airs on the road, 92 to 78. We'll see you for more Sal's NBL tomorrow.